It took me 10 years to find the answers I made. I forgot about it in 2 seconds. I don't have anything that's really important to me. That's why everything is beautiful. Can you hear it? The pulses of the living. The ironic rhythm is a grand orchestra. It's never the same tone. Who wants to stop this? There can be. When the violent tone is over, blue sky is more beautiful than ever. You see, I want that, that's all I want.
Hello. It is time for Final Fantasy IV. And I have some friends
Good
here
evening,
with
everyone.
me. My regular Final Fantasy co-commentator, Tieria.
Hi, I'm Vega Baby, your digital tour guide through virtual worlds, and I'm physically here right now.
Physically here.
Hi.
Reach out, touch them.
Don't
Don't. Do not be
be
respectful of their boundaries.
respectful of the performers.
And also, resident Final Fantasy IV fan and also good friend, Million Sandwiches.
Hey, everyone, Million Sandwiches here, he, him. I'm brought in tonight on account of Final Fantasy IV being entirely my wheelhouse and being able to provide a little bit of backstory, context, and information about the game as we play. And hopefully not being too overbearing about it.
Yeah. I have played Final Fantasy IV before, but technically speaking, I've never beaten it, and Billy hasn't also experienced the rest of Final Fantasy IV beyond the main game. So Millie is probably the most knowledgeable of the game here.
And I'm the heel this time. Final Fantasy IV was my least favorite one. Hi.
But yeah, this is part of
It's
a.
okay. It's okay. Some people like to eat cake. Some people like to eat donuts. Some people like to eat raw kale straight from the fridge. It takes all kinds.
Look, just because I like Evergrace.
But yeah, we're not actually going to. No one here is actually going to like shit on the game or nothing here. We're all cool people.
Not at
Yeah.
all. To be clear, part of the reason why this game did not land for me the first time is the PS1 version has a not often talked about multiplayer mode.
Oh, really?
The multiplayer mode is you control one or two characters. And you get to sit there while the person who is player one does everything else. So
Woo.
it was miserable.
Woo.
Not the best way to experience this game.
That's very similar to like my experience. One of my first experiences playing Tales of Symphonia at a friend's house. Was like, oh, it's multiplayer. Oh, I don't actually get to do anything but in the battles, and I don't even know how to play. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is part of a series that I started last year and then took, kind of a year off because brains are weird. Of playing through most of the entire Final Fantasy series. I say most because I'm probably not going to do Crystal Chronicles, but just because that's a hassle. But and also mobile games are not going to happen either. But yeah, we played through the pixel remasters of 1, 2, and 3. Had times of varying quality with them, ending on a positive one of that trilogy. 3 is very good in my opinion.
It's very good.
At least in the pixel remaster version. And now we are at 4, which was my first or second. I might play Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. We'll see. There's a lot of those, and I have to decide which ones I would want to play, or if I would just play the most recent release. Probably.
So good news. A lot of those different versions are all the same game.
Okay, cool. I was looking at like the Wikipedia list of Final Fantasy games, and I saw a lot of names under Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. I was like, oh god.
I think there were 2 or 3 like during the PS1 to Dreamcast era. Then there was one on the Wii called Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon. And every release after that, whatever it's called, is just a re-release of that one with different features. That's what Chocobo Mystery Dungeon everybody is.
I see.
Just
cool.
that original game, but with extra features, some new companions you can have, stuff like that.
Cool. Then I will probably slot that in then at some point into this series. Right now, we are on Final Fantasy IV, which was my second Final Fantasy. I rented Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 4 for the GBA when I was younger, and those are what got me into the series. What got me into the series was owning a copy of Final Fantasy 7 that I wasn't allowed to play when I was much younger, but I will not play Fortune Street on this channel. I'm sorry. I might play Dokapon Kingdom someday if I really want to hurt myself and my friends, but I've had enough Fortune Street in my life.
That's fair.
I will guest on other people's Fortune Street streams. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know.
Now I'm thinking about what my first Final Fantasy game is. I think it might be 8.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Actually, I think my first Final Fantasy might have been 10, actually. I think I got 10 on PS2 like as soon as I turned 13, and was all like, "Yeah, my mom said I can't play T-rated games, so I'm 13, and I'm 13 now, so I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go buy Dark Cloud and Final Fantasy X,
Hell yeah.
and then
Those
I
are
didn't.
two good games to get.
Yeah,
IMO.
and I never played through all the way through 10, but it's a pretty good one. I enjoy 10. Also, yeah, thank you for gifting a sub to Sierra FM Synth there. Thank you, and thank you for showing up, Sierra.
I'm gonna real quick swing the stupid pride bragging point around, which is my path to Final Fantasy IV is that this is the third Final Fantasy game I ever played, and the first two, in order, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Oh yeah, I guess I did play those before too. I wasn't thinking about them, but yeah, those are Tactics Advance is also on the list because I love Tactics Advance, and I do want to play through those games as well as the original Tactics.
Controversial opinion. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is not only better than Tactics, it's better than like 6 of the other of the mainline Final Fantasies.
I would honestly agree with that. I love Tactics Advance a lot, and it's not an arcane, rude mess that the first one is.
It's one of those things where I feel like I should like tactics games, but every time I try and play one, I get distracted by other things and never come back because they are complicated enough that you kind of want to play them one playthrough. So if you take a long break from them, you're going to come back to like having a big army and not being sure what equipment you need for everybody and so on and so forth. And I think that's happened every time I've tried to play Tactics Advance. That and every time I try and replay it, you have to play through that long intro again.
Yeah,
I don't want to do the snowball.
The pacing of the pacing.
No, you're going to do that snowball fight, and then you're going to feel an appropriate amount of pathos when you realize that some of those children got turned into turtles.
Yep, you fight those turtles. You fight them as turtles later on. It's kind of.
Oh, it's fine. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Sometimes children deserve to be turned into turtles and then turtle soup.
That's what Tactics Advance is all about, baby.
Sometimes children deserve to be turned into turtles.
Yeah, the story of Tactics Advance is very interesting.
Well, digressions aside, why don't we learn what the story of Final Fantasy IV is about and whether it concerns turtles?
Let me get that all up on stream here. Let me see. Go away, ho-oh, go away. Text. Where did I put that in my scene? There we go. There's Final Fantasy IV. Oh no, my friends.
Oh no, we're dead.
I've decapitated them.
We're not dead. We're just being censored for Japanese news.
Anyways,
you can't let anyone know we have eyeballs, Tyria.
There is no current audio on stream because I had to mute it for my own ears because these Pixel remasters don't let you change the audio till you're in the game, and I wanted to be able to hear my friends. So I'm going to technically mute my friends for a bit here. Hold on. Not actually, but I'm not going to be able to hear them as well when I turn this volume back on.
All right, welcome to Final Fantasy IV, everyone, featuring the first mystery of Final Fantasy IV. Why is this the logo?
Yeah. The logo is of a character named Kane. You will see why it is weird that Kane is the representative character of this game in the logo.
I can think of a reason. He does look very cool.
But yeah,
there's a reason that this becomes the canon look for Dragoons after this point.
people do love Kane and Dragoons because of him. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV is in a lot of ways kind of, hey, what if... God, no game sound still? Hold on. God dang it. Yeah, I was having trouble with this ahead of time as well. Hold on. Let me close the game here.
Oh, no.
I have to start the game while the audio is going, I think.
Yeah,
no? It's still not there. Why is it not?
Is it muted in OBS?
No, it's not muted in OBS. It's just not coming through to OBS.
Is it the wrong type of window capture?
It is a specific audio capture for that application so that I can control audio of specific things. God dang it, OBS.
Well, I can fill the time while I figure this out with a little trivia. Final Fantasy IV is originally released in 1991 in Japan,
Mhm.
and as Final Fantasy II in America.
It was the second one we got here.
Yep.
Which
Oh, that's why. Why is it capturing? It was set to capture the properties window in OBS. Why? I don't know why that's even an option in the audio thing in this audio thing for OBS, but whatever.
if it's similar to the thing I use, or maybe possibly the same thing, it just scrapes whatever EXEs.
Yeah.
So,
Technically speaking, this is a plugin, so like I get it, but yeah.
it scrapes whatever EXEs, so you can put whatever in there.
Yep. All right. So now,
Another fun piece of trivia about it.
and let me get the thing for stream for.
I'll
reference.
save that for after the intro, because the intro's pretty good.
The intro is pretty and good.
Yeah. Alright, I cannot control the speed of this, I don't think. Or maybe I can? Oh, here we go. Okay, I wasn't tapped in, that's why. Yeah, we open up on our main character and his crew coming back from committing war crimes. But yeah, one of the interesting things about 4 is that it's the first Final Fantasy to sort of open up with you kind of being the bad guy in a way. In some sense, something I never thought about before, but now that I've played through 2, Cecil is kind of Leon at the start of this game. He's in sort of the vibe of him.
Leon is definitely the type.
I think that Final Fantasy IV is a really interesting it represents an interesting point in both the development of Final Fantasy and the development of RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the first time Square Enix is really trying to do a cinematic story.
Yeah.
A cinematic story and a story that is distinctly different from Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm.
They did more story in 3 than they did in 1 and 2, but it still wasn't very there wasn't much character driven or sort of a conflict within between character conflict as much.
The main characters were literally an amalgam being that spoke in one voice.
Yeah.
And all climbed into bed with the princess together.
But here we have Cecil, Dark Knight and captain of the Baron Sky Knights. I also like that Cecil sounds more like a fantasy name now than in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because it has fallen so much far out of the favor.
Yeah. And we do not control these starting fights. We just sort of get to see Cecil's Dark Knight abilities on display here. But this is another change of 4, is that this is the first Final Fantasy where we really don't get to control what kind of gameplay each character has. Yep. They all have fixed classes, and there is some stuff we can do with equipment and such, but largely they are what they are, and we cannot control that. We do not control their skills in certain things. We do not assign classes to them like 1 and 3.
This is also the active time battle system's introduction.
Right. It has been present in the Pixel remaster. Or no, it hasn't. They haven't been using it in the Pixel remasters, right? So yeah, it's the first time we are encountering the active time battle on these streams as well. Mm-hmm. Active time battle being every character has a little bar that fills up and in battle, and when that bar fills up is when they get to go. And depending
it is not significantly different from having speed values,
right?
But the presentation makes it feel makes you feel like you're seeing more information about the game.
It does also feel more. It is, as the name implies, feels more active, as you are selecting your actions when your turn comes up, rather than okay. Select all the actions for your characters, let everything play out, and then select actions for the next turn.
Especially if you're in active mode and not wait mode, so
Yeah.
you have to menu fast.
Yep. There's sort of a balancing act going on that is that feels very engaging in ways, but also can also feel a little hectic once you're not used to it. But
This is
It
also
will,
you first.
I was just going to say, it'll be a while before the perfectly refined version of the system comes out, and basically as soon as they do that, they immediately pivot to just making action games.
yeah, this is the style of the games up until Final Fantasy X. So we're gonna be with it for a little bit.
Yeah, 10 takes a break from it, and then 10, 2, and 13
Bye.
can really go in on it, and then they stop entirely.
What I was going to say though is just this is also the first Super Nintendo
Yep.
Final Fantasy game.
Yep.
And
so,
actually, in fact, originally they were planning on making Final Fantasy IV as a last hurrah for the NES and Final Fantasy V for the Super Nintendo, but they looked at the time they had and they're like, we're just making the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah. You can kind of tell from the sprites.
yeah,
They
sort of the
feel
designs.
like upgraded 8-bit sprites.
Yeah, like the design, obviously Pixel Remaster has updated the sprites for all of the games, but like you can definitely tell in sort of the shapes and sort of color grading of the parts that this was made with many more bits than the previous games.
Mm-hmm. But like at the same time, things like sprite size and stuff will be notably different once we get to 5 and 6.
Yeah. 6 especially. 6 was them pushing their skills on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, they never really touched back on 10.
Yeah, 10 stands out in its battle scheme, yeah. If you want to experience another game that's kind of like that, Pokemon Legends Arceus. We have been relieved of command of the Red Wings for questioning the King's actions in ruthlessly seeking the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
We are still a couple games out from crystals being deprecated as important plot points.
They really never do.
Yeah, but
They just change the definition of what crystals are.
yeah. There's definitely some games where it's less like upfront about like there are 4 crystals of the elements and such, and.
And nowadays, crystals are back, baby. Ow!
Ow. Like 7 technically is all about crystals, but they're called materia and they're a whole different thing.
They're spheres instead of crystalline structures.
Wow. Spheres.
What's the crystal? Are GFs inside crystals in 8? I actually have never played 8.
No, GFs are inside your brain.
Well, when you get them and then you download them to your brain, I don't know. I've never played 8.
You either suck them out of somebody else's brain, or you fight them physically in the world, and they're like, "Hey, you're pretty cool. I'm gonna join you," and then you suck them into your brain.
I see. There's very little sucking going on in Final Fantasy IV.
All right.
There's a lot of sucking.
All right, let me get the audio down because this only lets me do this now.
Yeah, I love games that do that. I especially
There we
love
go, I
games
can hear
that
my
do
friends
that,
again.
and also do not adjust the audio when you start them until you load your save file. Oh,
I do prefer wait just because I like to be when I open my menu to do items, I don't want to get hit.
entirely fair.
Yeah.
Well, Tales of Graces isn't a Final Fantasy game, but yes. Sure.
Tales of Graces is also bad. No.
And can we linger on the menu? I love the OG style Dark Knight helmet. It is so unlike what all Dark Knights became in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Dark Knights.
Yeah, there's no visible lips.
Yeah. The design for Cecil becomes much more the Amano art. The sort of, and they go with that sort of for what Dark Knights are in the future, and thus it is much more humanoid and weird. The closest we get to something like this Frey in 14, basically. But yeah.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy IV.
It also does not really
you
match
already-
what's on the sprite.
Yeah.
You can also see on the menu that Final Fantasy IV has a frontline and backline system. It is you take a little less damage on the backline and deal a little less damage. It's that very basic system.
Yep. And as also you can see, unlike the previous three games, we have a party of 5 this time. We will get characters coming in and out throughout the game until eventually we get more or less a final party near the end of the game. But
Yeah, this game's weird in that it introduces a party of cycling characters, but you don't have control of who's in it.
yeah.
It's based entirely on the story,
Mhm.
which is an interesting way of handling it.
Yeah, and I mean that is true of a couple of Final Fantasy games for sure. Like you don't, but like they don't cycle them in and out as much after 4. It's a lot more they did it a little bit in 2 and with the extra characters of 2 and 3, but like definitely is much more prominent in 4 overall.
I appreciate the font.
Yeah, this is
It's
not
not
this is not the font that the Pixel Remaster comes with. This is something I had to get offline because the Pixel Remaster fonts by default are you can see it in the numbers to the right here. Very
Actually,
standard
Yeah.
text font.
Okay, Molly, off the top of my head, Final Fantasy VI has Mog.
Mhm.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII has technically Kate Sith.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy. I think the next one is there's no. I don't think there's even any like temporary party members in 11 in 12.
Yeah.
No.
For Moogles, 13-2 has a Moogle in your party, and yeah, that's it.
If we're not counting,
seven-
if we're counting non-mainline, Tactics Advance also in Tactics Advance games have Moogles as one of the races you can have characters be.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the major characters is Moblog.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
this
Sid.
this is-
People's favorite Sid.
is the first good Sid. So
Yeah, this is the first Sid who is a main character and actually like features prominently in a way that's interesting. One doesn't have one. Well, one does have one, but not until later games. And then 2 and 3, I've honestly forgotten already. Oh, Sid in 3 is the old guy who gives you the airship. He's cool. He's a cool. Yeah, he's a wife guy, but
3 Sid's got the worst fit. Of, like,
true.
all Sids.
3 Sid has very grandpa clothes, derogatory.
I will say the Amano art for this Sid is amazing. If you've
Yeah,
never
no.
seen it,
4 Sid in 4 is definitely the first really good Sid for sure.
He's the airship engineer for Baron. He's got a huge bushy beard,
Mhm.
and he's Rose's dad.
Yep. And yeah, Rosa is Cecil's paramour here, who is very concerned for the fact that he is clearly going through it right now over what's happened, over what he's had to do on the king's orders and being demoted. Because Cecil is more or less the adopted son of the king of Baron, having been brought in by him when he was much younger. And thus is very unsure of why the king has suddenly become an imperialist bastard. And yeah, we have been given the task of delivering a ring to a village called Mist. Maybe that will get us back in the king's good graces. Who knows?
he's not a pervert. He's a wild man.
Yeah, that's it. That's Sid.
Very
That
different.
Sid is a man who has parties at the bar. Everybody's happy when that Sid's getting loose at the bar. No,
That Sid has found gold in them there hills.
What can you do but be a cog in the machine?
Yep.
Can't believe Cecil never takes that armor off.
Nope, sleeps in it. Yeah, Cecil feels that he is sort of locked into what he has to do due to his relation to the king, and is, frankly, a bit of a coward. Is more or less where he starts at. Cecil is not a good person at the start of this game. Is, again, one of the big sort of story things of them compared to the previous games, of sort of faceless, nameless hero characters who are definitively heroes, but versus a man who is very I'm trying. I can't think of words I'm trying to come up with here.
He has layers, like an ogre or an onion.
Cecil and Rosa are a good couple. Yeah, I enjoy their relationship.
As a Dark Knight, you know we can never truly get. Is there a vow of celibacy when you become a Dark Knight?
There's a vow if you can never take off the armor and it doesn't have a removable plate.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And here, this is our best friend Kane. He is the Dragoon Man. He that's it. He is the Dragoon Man. Dragoons in all of Final Fantasy are cut from this cloth forever.
They invented a Dragoon before him, but no, they didn't. You're lying.
Yeah, the Dragoon in 3 isn't real. The Dragoon from Final Fantasy 3, no one knows him. No one cares about him.
The theme of Final Fantasy.
Yep. And a nice new updated pixel graphic for for Baron Castle here. Also,
And the 2 moons in the background.
yeah, we get the 2 moons, which is a very interesting choice of making a fantasy setting for Final Fantasy at this point, because otherwise it's been very medieval Dungeons and Dragons style fantasy. A joke about the armor might be a bit too adult joke for this stream. Fair.
I mean, FM, they make the joke for you later on when they redesign Dark Knight Cecil for stuff like Dissidia. He's chained into the armor. Like, the plates have rings connecting them all together and stuff like that.
Yeah. I really like the way they designed Cecil's Dark Knight look for Dissidia and such onward, but also it is very different from this. And it's very funny because like it's so different from like how armor design is for other characters, because like, you know, we'll see the villain of this game and not the villain, but one of the main and the antagonist for most of the game, I guess is the way to put it. And also the villain antagonist of 5 are both very large men in armor, and they do not change design much. They maintain their large plate armor looks.
Well,
Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah, overworld theme is pretty good.
I think you cannot do that. I think maybe you can do diagonal on the map now in the overworld.
Maybe.
Also, here we go.
Yeah, the battle theme. Yeah, as you can see, I'm being attacked while I am still like... Oh, no, don't attack! I chose to attack himself. I pushed the wrong button.
Get on.
So, Cecil Dark Knight has the power of darkness, which trades his health for a big AoE. At the start of the game, we are very strong. The Cecil and Kane are both seasoned warriors who are not trifled by goblins.
Goblins and hell divers and floating eyeballs.
oh my.
Much like the Dragoon class of 3, Kane's thing is jumping, a 2-turn attack.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Ju-
Jump has
Dragon's
never been a
never-
great move in any of these early games, at least.
Yeah, like it works a bit better when you actually know something's coming that you can.
In fact,
but
honestly,
that's
yeah.
really only happened in 3. I feel like.
Yeah, the gimmick of the boss that you want to be Dragoons against in 3 makes jump actually worthwhile in a very funny way.
They utilize it fine in this too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's okay.
There's
It's
definitely times
not
where
like-
there's definitely times for it in this game for sure. one of the strengths of having fixed characters like that is that you can sort of design around those abilities better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas something like 5 with its job system, you have to sort of make it. You can't. They realized by 5 that like, hey, we can't just expect. Also, yeah, you're right. I can go diagonal a little bit.
Final Fantasy IV also has it was the first game that had the increased Super NES fidelity, so a lot of monster designs not calcified is not the right word, but solidified into this is what they're gonna look like now.
And also we get the portrait art for Kain in his dragoon armor.
They buffed potions in this release.
Yep.
I like that little trumpet flare.
Yeah, it's very good
in this organization.
The Pixel Remaster reorchestrations of the music for these games has been very good. I'm very excited to... I have been specifically avoiding listening to a certain boss theme from this game, from this version, because I want to hear it for the first time on this stream. I have not done that for Battle on the Big Bridge, because Battle on the Big Bridge deserves to be heard. But for the big boss theme of this game, I have not listened to the Pixel Remaster version. Yeah, just like before, we have our second menu with Defend and Row, which swaps rows for a character.
I do think a strategy you can kind of use with Kain is if you're planning on using jump most of the time anyway, it does count as a ranged attack, so you can put him in the back row, so he'll take less damage even when he is on screen. But it's like, eh.
The new sound, like the high fidelity sound effects for attacks and stuff, are throwing me a little bit.
Yeah, that is one of the funny things of like the visual effects and the sound effects like that in these remasters definitely feels like it feels misplaced in a way that I personally enjoy, but it's definitely very funny.
There are some spells that look really bad in some of these, but other than that, it's fine.
They're very like souped up RPG Maker stock asset kind of look is the way I describe it.
What I was about to compare them to is it reminds me of when you see a Pokemon fan game. Like water gun is now a weird gradient thing now.
Yeah. The Phantom Beast of Mist Valley. Oh, I missed a treasure. Oh no.
It also makes me think of I think I said this a while back when we were more deep into this series. It also reminds me of Golden Sun.
Yeah, Golden Sun had that going on a lot in like visually too. Yeah.
All right, first boss.
Whoa.
Is the Mist Dragon.
That's a fucking horn.
Yeah, that horn was a lot, and the violin. Oh, electric piano now. The dragon turned into mist. So this is our first sort of mechanic of a fight where attacking this boss while it's in mist form. Bad idea.
That's right. This is the famous battle theme known as Culex's theme.
Yeah, this was used in Super Mario RPG for the theme of bonus boss Culex, because I do believe that was probably like
most recent.
Yeah, it was being developed like right after this, more or less. Culex being a non-Final Fantasy character, but a Final Fantasy styled boss using just the FF4 boss music.
Actually, was it the most recent? I need to actually double check that.
It was. I think it was probably like placed such that development time would have been between 4 and 5 most likely, but like it might have come out after 5 technically.
Okay, yeah. Mario RPG is 96. Final Fantasy 6 was 94.
Okay.
I don't know why they chose QLX, but yeah, they did.
Very interesting.
It's like,
Perhaps they
Yeah,
just chose. They felt that this music was the best one for it. I don't know.
as I was saying that out loud, I was like, wait, no, Mario RPG was like one of the last
Yeah.
fully
You're right.
fully released Super Nintendo games. It was that and Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
last Nintendo produced games.
Very strange.
Anyway, Miss Dragon.
Yeah, Mr.
We
Dragon.
don't have a lot of options right now, so we're, you know,
Yeah, it's like, dude,
first Pokemon gym just using tackle a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, this is meant to get you used to the ATB system and knowing sometimes you just need to wait.
yeah. This is sort of introducing you to defend as a mechanic, and you know, bosses as a concept in this game.
You could set up a jump wall. It's in the mist too.
You could, yeah.
Did older Final Fantasy games? I'm trying to remember if they have this or not. Did older Final Fantasy games have enemy weaknesses to different types of weapons?
I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. I think.
Because I believe Final Fantasy IV has things like Kane hurts things that are in the air.
Yeah, I do believe there is a little bit of that in a lot of the games. I don't know. I don't know how much of it
There
was in
are-
3.
There are elemental weapons, and there are like weapons that do sometimes special. I remember in 3,
Yeah.
dragons did have like a lot of their weapons called that doing more damage to dragons.
Yeah, I know like specific weapons in like 5 will say like this does more to X. Or like it'll be named something, or like it'll be named something that implies like it does more to a certain type of monster. Like the Beast Killer is a weapon in 5.
Mhm.
It does more against beasts.
Yeah, we killed the Mist Dragon.
Yep. Nothing bad will come of
Pretty
this.
misty here.
It's actually
Oh.
still pretty misty, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is the village of Mist. You know.
True.
Their tourism industry is gonna go in the toilet.
Yeah, like you can't go to the Mist Zoo anymore and
Yeah.
shove one of those fat dollar coins
Truly-
into a kibble vending machine.
Yeah, like elemental damage is definitely a thing for sure. Like 5 definitely you have to do specific elements for some fights. But yeah, surely our actions have consequences. The economy of Mist is going to go into the toilet. But at least the town itself and its people will be okay forevermore.
Yeah, we killed the Mist Dragon, which probably, you know, maybe the Mist Dragon was dangerous. Maybe this
Yeah,
is
who
like,
knows?
maybe we're pest control for the angry bears in the area.
Yeah, our king, who is totally not evil, told us to do this. It's fine.
Yep.
And I will give them this fancy ring we brought.
Oh, something's happening with the ring.
Oh, it's so shiny.
Oh. Oh no! Bombs!
So, did the king prepare this in advance?
Proximity
knowing
trigger.
that this could get Cecil killed, or like...
I
do
think at
be-
this point he doesn't seem to care about Cecil.
Yeah. My mom's dragon died. What? Who could have done that? Oh, maybe we shouldn't have said that in front of the kid.
Yeah, maybe you should have said that out loud.
Cain just immediately willing to kill a child. Cain is a little too far gone in the loyalty thing. Cecil has had enough, though.
Kane was just testing him.
Can't disgrace the Dragoons. I don't know if we ever see any other Dragoons in this game.
The concept of dragons, who he
Yeah.
thinks are very cool.
The girl,
Yeah,
understandably.
I don't know why she'd want to come with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's entirely fair that she doesn't want to. Fight this child.
Big guy.
This is also the first time of the series where, aside from, stuff like the Leviathan boss of 3, the summons are treated as beings that have an effect on the world around them. Such as this. That's a weird effect. The blurring on that was a little weird looking.
Titan's fissure has cut us off from mist.
Yep. And Kane has been lost in the tumult.
But one of the trade-offs they make to having a more fixed cast is that you don't have quite as many options early on.
Mhm.
Also, welcome to Sandworms.
Sandworm City, baby.
Hands.
It's gonna be a bit before you can really do a lot of complicated stuff in battles.
Mhm. For now, again, we are stuck with just Cecil, and we can do Sword and Darkness.
And welcome to Town Theme.
Yep.
If you've been playing Final Fantasy XIV, you'll recognize this lately.
Yeah. Final Fantasy IV's music is definitely some of the most called upon in 14, I think.
I would say, well, only recently.
Well, recently, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Endwalker's the first time they've actually used straight arrangements of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 14's favorite Final Fantasy to pull from is 3.
True, you're right, yeah. I remember noting upon that with partway through 3 of oh my god, the overworld theme of 3 is the music from Shadowbringers. God.
Yeah, it's Eternal Wind.
By God, that's Final Fantasy III's music. Here it comes with the chair.
Oh,
They found you fast.
they find you really fast.
Then you will die.
God, that trumpet is going to get me every time we hear it in this playthrough.
The Baron soldiers look a little bit better in this than they did originally.
Yeah, they're pretty solid sprites.
Straight up, the original sprites were a little goofy looking.
God, I just realized, Millie, the helmet in this sprite particularly reminds me of what's his face from Kaido's crew in One Piece. I don't remember his name. One of the
King?
not King. I can't remember his name. It was another character who had a similarly horned helmet that just covered his eyes and nose and such.
The guy who turns into a Sabretooth?
Hold on, let me see if I can. Who's Who is what I'm thinking of. Just his is red, but yeah, Sabretooth Man.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Anyway, the original Baron soldier, I'm going to link it in chat, is really, chunky.
Yeah, that's a chunko, man.
Yeah.
All the details kind of just melt into each other.
Summoner Rydia has joined the party. This is our first.
Yeah, now we have a magician.
Yep. This is our first mage type character, a very small child who can summon forces of nature in
Yeah, you're gonna want to check out. You're gonna want to check out her list of abilities.
From what I remember, Rydia is incredibly weak for
Yeah.
an incredibly
Yep.
long time.
She is a literal
you get to
child.
Cast Chocobo once.
She can cast Chocobo Kick one time.
And yeah, she also the thing where she summoned Titan, that was a one-time thing.
That was very much her being upset. She is level 1. She has 30 HP. But she does have technically access to 3 different types of magic, which we will get to, you know, in time.
Make sure she's in the back.
Yep, she is. She does start default in the back. Rydia cannot take a hit, is where she currently stands. Have anything I want to sell? I mean, Kane's gear. Yeah, this is a change they made with this, is that when a character leaves your party, you get their gear. And Kane is going to be gone for a long time. I'm just going to tell you right now. We do not need to hold on to Kane's gear.
I forgot the item is just called.
Oh yeah, we also have the item to teach Rydia how to summon Goblin.
You can learn Goblin Punch.
Famous move of butts in blue magic. Buy some of these. God dang, gold needles are expensive. I guess they're made of gold. And then Geese All Greens for summoning Fat Chocobo, who I assume is going to be a storage system like he is in the past.
Yeah, but it's less necessary now.
Yeah, they did make that not a thing to worry about in this version. Anna and her father, Sage Tella, are very close. I wonder who this Sage could be.
Probably doesn't matter.
Kaipo Punch.
Babool. Damison.
The Antlion Cave. Has many riches.
I feel like a lot of the place names in 4 are not quite as memorable as some of the other ones in other Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. And it's definitely been overwritten by... It definitely gets overwritten by just... 4 is not... You know, 4 is well liked, but it is not one of the fan favorites.
If you're going to travel with that little girl, I recommend moving her to the back row. Keep in mind the video game mechanics, young man. Wow. Wow. Wow.
The power of the Super Nintendo. We can have so many sprites.
It's really funny to read some of the interviews from this time because, like, there's a growing thing of they keep getting able to buy cartridges with larger memory limits, and, like, they have a bunch of stuff of, like, oh yeah, we had so much memory this time. We thought we could just put whatever in there. So we got to the end and we weren't sure we'd be able to fit the final boss in. We managed to pull it out, but...
Yeah. Yeah, the interviews are very fun to read. There have been sightings of 8 water serpents recently. Exactly 8. No more. We know there's definitely no more than 8, for sure.
They're very distinctive serpents.
The desert oasis of Damsian. Oh, cool. It just pops up to say, like, hey, there's something in here. Thank you. A delicate beauty with an exquisite voice. A girl from Baron, muttering the name Cecil. What the? It's Rosa. She's here. We need a cake. We need a
desert fever. We need a jewel.
We need a jewel from the Antlion Cave to cure desert fever. That jewel
haven't invented ibuprofen yet.
Yeah.
So this is what we got.
My assumption from reading that is that this jewel is some byproduct of an antlion. That's all. That's all I can take from it. It is some crystallized byproduct of this creature.
It's also worth mentioning, like in previous...
Oh, naming way.
Hey, it's naming way. Do you wish to change your name?
Yeah, naming ways here.
Yep, this is the game which introduced naming way, I think, as a thing.
Yep.
Because these are fixed characters, but they still, you know, as an RPG, maybe you wanna have your name there.
And then Final Fantasy IV DS had a whole thing about this, which I think is one of the best meta things they've ever done in Final Fantasy. Namely, wait, we have voice acting now. You can't rename any of these characters.
Yeah.
So what is their solution? Naming Way has a existential crisis that he's useless now, and is just a recurring joke side quest of he's trying out different things with his life in every town.
Yeah, so even with only one summon, that summon can still do quite a bit of damage right now. And here we see Rydia is already learning other magic, Blizzard and Cure.
Well, there's kind of a kissing way. There's cheating way.
There are many ways.
It's not the actual title, but there is Depressed My Wife Doesn't Love Me Anymore way.
God.
My wife left me way.
Divorced way.
Almost all of the blanking ways in Final Fantasy XIV are references to this side quest.
Yeah.
So divorced my bedroom is littered with half-drinking Gatorades way.
Yeah, we are probably going to need to do just a tiny bit of grinding here first, just so Rydia can do things.
Just a
She
smidge,
gets-
just so she won't die in one hit.
She gets magic at a frightening pace, though.
Yeah, that's again that is also a byproduct of the nature of how characters come in and out of this game. Is some characters have varying growth rates, and Rydia is also young and full of potential.
I feel there could be a version of this game where Rydia was the protagonist.
Yeah.
Just in terms of where she's positioned in the story and stuff.
It's the same game where Cecil is Gladio, though, so
Yeah, pretty much.
you don't want that.
Nobody wants
Yeah.
that. Nobody wants a Gladio.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to Gladio someday, but yeah. That DLC is about as far as I made it in that game when I first tried playing it. Not to say that DLC stopped me from enjoying the game, it's just I stopped playing the game at that point for various reasons.
If we end
I've
up
been-
getting to that one, will we need to track down the novel and do something with that?
I've been thinking
That's
about
where
that,
the
like,
actual end
quite
is.
possibly. Oh, geez. Earthquake
Yep.
has killed our child.
Yep. Desert scary.
Desert, indeed, scary. And
Unfortunately,
dead
dead people
characters
still
do not get experience, yeah.
Classics of RPG.
Thankfully, we are well past the point in Final Fantasies where there was a separate place to revive characters. They dropped that pretty quickly in the series, I think.
Other fun note. This is the blue planet. It's the setting of Final Fantasy IV. It is sometimes called Earth, but in the sort of colloquial way.
Yeah. It is still, you know, the element of Earth is still the primary matter, but it is definitely not our Earth. Okay, now we can summon Goblin Punch, which attacks one enemy for 1 MP.
It's not as powerful as Chocobo Kick, but it's a neutral. Let Rydia do something move.
Desert Silhagen. The Desert Fish. Yeah, it does, but yeah, it does allow her to do a reasonable for this point in the game amount of damage. And Rydia learns Thunder. She has learned Blizzard and Thunder. Surely next she will learn fire. Why do you have Kiraja? That's so unnecessary. That's so overkill. That is so much.
It's to let you know it exists. And you'd be like, wow, I can't wait till I can do that.
Oh, no, damn it.
Nice.
I pushed right to select the monster to the right. Nice.
You know?
So, as Mara's getting in, I do want to say we're coming up to one of the most interesting things about this game in terms of this. But this game also feels like the first time that they're really experimenting with how they can use game mechanics to tell a story in a really interesting way. Partially with stuff like Cecil already being relatively high level at the start of the game to show that he's seasoned, having Rydia at level 1, and the character we're about to get really interacts very interestingly with
sure does.
With mechanics.
Sure does.
Sure friggin' does. In a way that just is very cool, I think. But it's also very understandable that nobody ever really did it again.
Yep. Hold. One of the fun parts of these Pixel remasters is a lot of the time they use old name for magic that I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, hold cures paralysis. Okay.
That sounds like the opposite.
Here he is.
of what we do.
Dark Knight, I need your assistance. I must rescue my daughter from Damsian. Seems like a wicked bard. Sage Tella.
Okay. Is Tella the first time Final Fantasy truly created a funny old man?
I believe so, yes. I mean, I guess you could argue Sid in 3, kinda, but...
He's not that funny yet.
No.
He's like the prototype. I would say you'd have a better case with, like, what's his name? The other two wizards.
You're not going to tell me Minwu, are you?
No, I wasn't going to say Minwu.
Minwu is very much not an old man. Look at that old man. Look at that old man. So...
I'm blanking on their name. Hold on. Amon, I think? Something like that?
Amon? Like the Skull Mask dude?
No, not him. God, why am I...
Are you thinking of a character from 2, or...?
No, it's from 3.
Oh,
I'm
from 3.
pretty sure.
Oh, the 3 Doga and them. Doga, the...
Yeah, Xanda's other two, like,
yeah. Dogi, or Doga.
Yeah, Doga, I think. Yeah.
Look at this funny old man.
Doga, in personality, very much a very, very funny old man, I think, yeah, but not so much design-wise.
Yeah, he's kind of the proto-old man. I'd say Tella's the first classic funny old man.
So one of the fun things, by the way, about the DS remake is because they're 3D models now with textures, a lot of them get to have the like patterning that Amano does in his watercolors.
Right.
That you cannot do with with sprite-based real estate. So Tella, gets like the weird stripes and paisleys on his pants, which is nice.
Yeah, God, Amano art Tella is so good. But yeah, as T was talking about, a character who interacts with the game very interestingly. Tella is a sage. He is level 20. He has relatively high HP, but not much for being that much higher than Cecil, because, he's magic. But he has a very high pool of MP. When we look at his magic list, he has quite a few spells in there. We do not... No, it's not here. He doesn't start with the joke magic, with the joke of Tella, so...
But yeah, Tella's deal is basically, he starts out very powerful at a very high level. At every point when he levels up after this, his stats go down.
His physical-based stats go down, yeah. So he loses attack and defense.
because he's very old.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. His daughter is like in her 20s.
Well, you know, an old man can still be active.
Joseph Joestar situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Tella's here to let you know that, hey, you can use lightning magic on everything in this cave and explode it.
Yeah. Well, except for these frogs. These frogs are...
Well, they're yellow, that's your point.
Yeah.
True.
Color of electricity.
I like that. I just noticed the minimap is animated.
Yep. It is.
The minimap has the same like water animations, which makes me wonder if it's just mechanically like a duplicate render of this room, but in gray, in sepia tone.
Very possible, because it was the same in the other Pixel remasters as well. That might just be what they do. Rydia learned sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are also seeing. I forget what they were like in 3 so much, but we are definitely seeing much more interesting and fixed dungeon design going on here. Or well, it's always fixed, but much less rigid.
Darkness.
Oh yeah, don't use darkness because these are zombies.
It feels like they are trying to suggest more visually that these are real, actual places and not mazes for you to navigate. There's still mazes for you to navigate, but... Oh yeah, darkness doesn't work well on the undead.
Mm-hmm.
It's very ineffective.
Cure does, though. God, even just his sprite is very funny. I love Tella. I love Tella a lot. And even Cecil's sword is not great. We're already running into the limits of a Dark Knight.
I believe the sword is dark element, is why.
Yeah, that is the thing. It's like Cecil's entire deal is being dark, and zombies resist that in all forms.
At
least you aren't healing them, I guess.
Yeah.
This was Final Fantasy IV Advance is the first real, air quotes, Final Fantasy game I played, and it still has a very special place in my heart for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Final Fantasy IV is also pretty unique in and of itself. Not a lot of other Final Fantasies feel the way it does.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah, in 3 when the Dark Knight's katanas were all super late game.
Yeah, that was a big problem with 3, especially because you needed them to defeat certain enemies.
Yeah, no, it was a cave full of enemies that were like, hey, use a Dark Knight against these. Like, but I can't. But Dark Knights can't do shit.
Like, personally, I think the next Final Fantasy that feels anything like 4 is 9?
Yeah, I would agree, yeah. Like,
yeah, 9 feels like it is specifically calling back to this one as like I'd say there are notes of this in 6. 6 has more in common with 4 than it does with 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with the preset characters and the way that they feel. The fact that they're still basically based off of classes, and also in terms of the storytelling, I'd say.
Yes, that thing that thing reacts to lightning spells with Kyorajin.
That's a way to make an enemy absorb electricity.
Nope. Did not stick around to be goblin punched.
Who would?
I imagine a goblin
Final
punch is just
Fantasy-
one of the most unpleasant kind of punches to experience. Just like it probably hits you in the shins. Like
It's full force straight to the neck.
well, FF9 did come out
Also,
in a time where people were really
Also-
weird about JRPGs, as we have been seeing talked about lately.
Yeah, that's kind of where it started, I'd say, around then.
Goblin Punch is also technically more of a kick, but semantics.
Yeah. A goblin don't punch. A goblin will just come up and kick you in the leg.
Be careful when you use blue magic. That's all I'll say.
Blue mages do have to master the expert spellcasting learning technique of getting nailed by all monster attacks directly in the groin. That's how you learn them.
Yep.
The nerves are very sensitive down there, so you can sense every single thing it's doing to you.
So, something that's just a fun aesthetic thing about Final Fantasy IV, just dungeons, you'll be in this random cave and there's just a big wooden, tavern door.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have time to make more doors. They didn't have cartridge space.
Yep.
You can save and use a tent or cottage here.
These
I
are
feel
the
like more
checkpoints.
safe spots should look like this.
Yeah.
You know? Big things that are clearly keeping monsters away.
Also, I like this is an effect they use in 5 as well sometimes of we're going to zoom in on this place you're in to create a larger map for a cutscene. It's very neat. The power of the
that's
Super
fair,
Nintendo.
Molly. That's fair, Molly.
There are definitely some
We
issues with
talked
blue
about
in
it, that
14. Yeah.
Yeah. The class is fun. The story around it.
The story could be fun in
That-
some aspects, but then other parts of it are.
Yeah, yeah. The part where you're performing in a circus, basically. That part's fun. The part where
She eloped with a bard to dance in because I didn't consent to their union.
You seek the desert ruby. 18.
Frightful creature with 8 enormous tentacles.
who could that be?
I only pray my instincts are wrong. Yep, this is our first save point. Ice Rod. Rod of Ice, which will boost Blizzard.
Is Rod of Ice one of the ones that you can use?
That's a good question. It does look like I can use it, yeah.
Yep. There you go. Now you get some free weaker Blizzard casts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's useful to have a free spellcasting.
Yep.
Especially early on in a game like this when you have no mana to work with. And they aren't selling ethers yet.
It is the early version of what will eventually happen on a lot of Final Fantasy stuff, where the spellcasters just wave their staves and shoot little magic blasts for their attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Or send a small puppet out to kick him in the shins. I still think that that's one of my favorite animations for as for attack in any of these games. Lulu is a character of all time in a lot of ways.
Oh, I meant to target the bug, but oh well. This is
Her
fine.
design is... Thinking about it, her design is just really all over the place.
Who
I mean,
again?
part of it is that weird. You probably heard the story. That weird arms race between Nomura and the other devs.
Yeah, where they kept being like, we can't keep modeling these traps.
Which character are we talking about?
Lulu.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey,
But
can you put more
yeah.
belts on this Nomura-san, we can't put more belts on this. It's all we can do. Yeah, but what if you could put more belts? And they're just like, fuck you, Nomura.
I'm gonna give her a dress of belts.
Nomura sure is one of the character design, or Lulu sure is one of the character designs of all time.
Yeah, just like living on a tropical island.
Oh.
Dressed like a...
I misinterpreted red as being fire aspected, I guess.
Also, she fights with dolls. The haunted dolls that she sends to kick you in the shins.
Yep. There are some very inspired weapon choices in 10.
They do shoot fire. See, they sometimes shoot fire, but you also can hit them with fire. It's weird.
Yeah. I guess they want me to play a matching game instead of try to figure out the opposite. Yeah.
I don't think they figured out the element triangle quite yet.
Yeah. True.
Also, a thing I'm thinking about, because we mentioned Lulu, is just everyone, all those making fun of Nomura designs. It's like, wow, what's all the zippers and belts? Ha 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 ha. When it's just like he was just looking outside his window.
Yeah. Or looking in his closet in the case of like Twiwi.
Harajuku street fashion.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
He literally just is really into fashion and draws in stuff that he's seeing around, and like the Harajuku street fashion scene is exactly that wild. Yes, people do dress that way there, because it is specifically avant-garde, self-made fashion. That's meant to be
also, have you used Recall yet?
I just use it. Yeah.
Yep. Recall is just Tella casts a random spell from a pool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't remember all the spells he used to be able to cast.
He's
sometimes
old.
He's just like, oh wait, I got one. Sometimes the spells he casts aren't very useful. Sometimes they're incredibly powerful.
Yeah. As mentioned, a lot of playing around with the class and gameplay mechanics for the character of, someone.
Yep.
I will say I wish more Final Fantasies had really unique feeling mechanics for the characters like this.
Yeah.
That is one thing that this game absolutely has going for it.
They definitely decided, as time went on, to lean more into the customization options for characters, more of the job system stuff. It was because that was definitely like case in point, like 12 very infamously was more well received when it had a job system added in.
Mm-hmm. So, the list of spells you can get from Recall are Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Toad, Break, Bio, Tornado, and Death, as well as the chance of failure.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn you could
Hodger-
also get Meteor.
Hodger is a really clunky pun, but I like the attempt.
Couldn't remember that we just saw the fail option. You tried to recall and you couldn't remember. Oh, look at that frog sprite.
You can't use abilities when you're a toad.
Nope.
You also can't do much damage.
I believe, do you need white magic to fix Toad, or is this one of the Final Fantasies where you can just cast Toad again when you're in the mid,
I don't think I have Toad, so I would not be able to tell right now. But we do have Asuna on Tella, so we are going to use it. Thinking back to when I played through 2 and man, having Asuna early is really nice. Mm-hmm. Having Asuna when I need Asuna is really nice.
It's also really nice when it just cures all status effects.
Yeah.
So, I've been playing that train. I've been talking about it non-stop because I've been really but I will say, even they, with their, wanting you to grind out stuff hard as nails difficulty, realized after a few entries, oh, hey, we should probably just make it, when you get a status curing thing, that it just cures all statuses.
Yeah.
It's just, a thing you want.
Oh, Cecil died.
Cecil's dead.
I wasn't even paying attention to his health. Oopsie.
He took a lot of damage while he was a toad.
Yeah.
A really good color palette for an alligator.
Yeah, I like it.
Why can't real alligators look like that? Somebody fix that. Somebody pass a law.
Our mages are running low on magic.
Well, let's hope we don't run into any more
Nice.
zombies.
Nice.
Nice.
You can always run.
Yeah.
True.
Shadow Blade.
Blade.
Cecil, as is the Dark Knight way, has specific equipment right now. Also, I like this background thing going on in the back underneath. This is very cool sprite work going on down there.
Makes the cavern feel way more massive than it actually is.
That's
Right.
because we are now in Super Nintendo, and we can do that.
Yep, and also as part of one of the Super Nintendo things is we have some extra buttons, and so we're gonna put run instead of in the menu on holding down the shoulder buttons. This is a thing that will stick with the series for a little bit.
Final Fantasy IV has a lot of these little bits where they let you go outside for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chance to camp.
Yeah.
And also probably get a sense of where you are in the world at the moment.
Yep. Waterfall.
Woohoo!
Yay! I love jumping down waterfalls.
In full plate armor.
Tiny mage.
Little guy. Why do these little guys want to kill you? Don't worry about it.
They'll start casting thunder pretty fast.
Yep. Tella, no. Incorrect. And here they are using Osmos, which steals MP. Yay!
So they can cast more tiny magic.
Yeah, they have high magic resistance, so this is a Cecil fight, basically.
Might even be good to just start whacking them with your staves.
Yeah, probably. Fortunately, these characters in the back, they do not have much great hit chance. Oh, cool. Nope, nope, there. Cool. Rydia is still learning. She's not great at magic yet.
Like, it takes a pretty long time for her to stack up to the rest of the party.
Yep.
In general, I'm thinking about it. This is kind of a rough party to saddle you with early on.
Yep. 4
Depending
is...
on casting this early is a little tough.
Yeah, 4. This is one of the things of 4 is... It has a very kind of rude start for it to deal with in a lot of ways. The way that 4's difficulty fluctuates over time is very interesting. Is what is the nice way to put it.
It's you against the world.
Yeah. We do start out story-wise in a bit of a rough spot. So, you know, kind of fits. Oh yeah, we can pull up the map like this again, so I can check for chests this way. The Hades helm and the Hades gloves.
It's interesting that Tella is, called a sage.
Mm-hmm.
When later on in the Final Fantasy series, sages become a very different type of character class and job.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think sages have come up already, and they were basically just last tier of caster in 3.
Yeah, in 3, Sage was basically just you are full on. This is full highest strength caster of the game.
But yeah, later on, especially in 14, but in general, it becomes more of a healer support class.
What do the Hermes shoes do? Haste.
Mm-hmm.
Same as they
Boss
always
fights
do, just they're not equipment in this one.
The boss fight is triggered by going to the end of this peninsula, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah. I only have so much resources at the moment, so
Watch out! He's got a gun!
meow.
Oh, there he
Remember.
is. This is a hell of a fella.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy would so be a recurring villain on the Saturday morning TV series of Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes extra damage from dark and lightning.
Yep. And as the person in the town mentioned, 8 water snakes.
Exactly 8 of them.
Octomammoth is not too much trouble, though.
Yeah. I'll probably just Goblin Punch with Iridia for a bit, so I'm not just using up all my ethers for a fight that's not great. Oh, no. Goblin Punch,
Neutral
baby.
damage it takes neutral damage from Blizzard if you want to just use the rod.
Oh, yeah. I could do that, yeah. I had forgotten.
Got like a little bit over 2,000 HP. Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've hit a button that has made, I think. Okay, there we go. I was trying to figure out like if the upper left was me turning on something, but no, it's there to signify when I turn on auto battle.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't sure if I had accidentally turned it on already. 1 tentacle. I'm so used to like using rods, meaning you lose the rod in 5. Okay, yeah, and it doesn't do that much in the end.
It's fine. Riddy is a child. She probably shouldn't be committing murder anyway.
Victory! You could probably just walk over to Domcian for... We'll be fine. Oh no! very flat airships coming in.
They have 7 modes now, Mara.
Yeah.
They can use the 7th mode.
Oof.
All's good.
Everything is fine here. Oh no, the crystal. No one else is going to use it. That's fine. They can't, yeah, they don't have blast processing.
Yeah, this was doing what Nintendo does, so it didn't do what
Anna!
Nintendo did.
And here comes the scene in which we hear the infamous words of Tella. Spoony, you spoony bard!
Bard.
I'm so glad they kept it.
Yeah.
It's very important. No, wait! Oh my god!
Tella's not even using magic. He's just trying to beat this guy to death with a stick.
Why did you bring my daughter to your castle that you know would explode? Hi, MILF City. Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Fair.
Yeah.
Same.
Spoony bard. Sure yeah, there is a weight to those words sometimes.
Yeah. There's a weight. You're gonna carry that weight. Bygone internet days.
Edward and
That's
I
what's
on love.
fine.
Golbez, the new commander of the Red Wings.
Never heard of him before.
That's really weird, Cecil. That's really weird that you got replaced by an entirely new hire. It doesn't seem like Baron's a particularly big kingdom. Even Anna shielded me. I'm just imagining, like, first his dad jumps in front of an arrow for him, then his mom, and then Anna, and he's just like, oh, come on. Guys.
Stop your sniveling. Dang, it's a lot more intense than I remember the effect of him hitting Cecil. Tella has left the party. We have lost our really good mage.
Wow, even the
Pretty-
child is telling him to stop crying.
Yeah. Edgar is a character. Or Edward. Edgar is a different character from a different game.
Mm-hmm.
A much better character gameplay wise.
Slap.
Yep. Tella's great. Tella is definitely one of my personal favorite characters of this. He's just very fun.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV is a great game to play early on. You know, in your experience with the Final Fantasies, because they're all these really, really broad theatrical characters.
Yeah.
There is nuance in some of them, but it is.
Oh yeah, I was
very
right.
much,
The Ruby is just a secretion of the antlion.
I know what you mean, MILF City, but I am now just thinking of loving a character in an abnormal way.
It's called standing, Tyria.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. See, I was
So, yeah.
thinking it would be like, oh yeah, I love them, but in, like, you know, a yandere way. I want to knife them. I can think of a few characters like that. I feel that way about Xenos. I really want to stab him.
Yeah. understandable. But yeah, here we also get probably the wildest first vehicle of a Final Fantasy game yet, the hovercraft.
It's just like Donkey Kong Country 3.
Anyways, we left before we got to use the healing pots. But yeah, we have replaced Tella in our party with Edward, the Spoony Bard.
They looted all the treasure. Damn it. Oh, I also, as just an aside, since that made me think of it, I think I'm the only person I know who actually liked driving the hovercrafts in Diddy Kong Racing.
It depends on what type of character you're playing as, honestly. Because, like, if you're playing as a high turning character, hovercrafts are just fine. If you're playing as Banjo or Crunch, you're in hell.
That's fair. But yeah, I usually pick the hovercrafts if they were an option, like even on courses where you could plane or car.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were fun. And I think I also mostly played like Tipped Up or something.
Yep. The Final Fantasy's trick of multi-square city tiles.
Which
It's
maintains
for
maintains itself into what was I gonna say? RPG Maker.
Yeah. But yeah, the hovercraft lets us go over the shallows, which are these little rock tiles here in the water, which lets us return to over here, as well as go to the right, up there, which I think that's where I'm supposed to go for the outline. I forget.
I think so, yeah. I'm trying to think of what other.
Also, we do not get attacked in the hovercraft, which is nice.
What other Final Fantasy games have sort of this hovercraft equivalent? I guess a lot of them do after this point.
Or
5?
The colored chocobos.
5.
Yeah, the color.
5 has the black chocobo, which is about the closest to this there is.
6, I don't know. I don't know what vehicles you get in 6. I've never played it that far. 7's got a hovercraft like right at the start. Yet.
This is
8, like 8, your vehicle basically gets upgraded. Your first vehicle is basically hovercraft, even though it's an entire school.
Yes, I believe it's that cave.
Oh yeah, it's this cave. Right. It's not. I was like, isn't this the cave I came in through? But no, it's not. Oh wait. Before I go for it, yeah,
Antlion Cave.
So
I don't know why, but I think I remember this being kind of a difficulty spike.
It is because, as I kind of mentioned earlier, Edward's not very great, never very useful.
They rebalanced
him. Hide's funny.
Yeah, he sure does have hide.
They did rebalance Song, at least, which is pretty nice.
So Edward, as mentioned, is a bard. He uses harps as his weapon. And
I think you can equip him with bows, too, and that tends to be better.
Yeah. This is also, by the time you get a bow, you also have Rosa, who is much better.
Also a bow.
Yeah.
I've always liked Edward, but yeah.
No, I get you. He does have a heal. That's nice.
Yeah. So Sing is rebalanced. Also, it now affects everything.
Yeah, Edward, as we saw in the previous scene, Edward's a bit, Edward is himself a bit of a coward, not much of a fighter. He's, he's not very great mechanically in the game, and that's, on purpose.
And yeah, because of that, people tend not to like him. I would give him the slight credit here of he is still helping you out despite all that. And part of the reason he's being a coward is literally his entire family and the majority of the people who lived in his castle are all dead.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They were all horribly murdered, and it's understandable that he wouldn't want anything to do with anything. But also, I just like bards.
Understandable. Rydia has progressed a little bit in her magic abilities and is thus, able to help us more in sort of make up for the loss of Tella in a way.
She can't help with the. She can't help with not Hobbs though.
Yeah. For some reason, she has not learned fire yet. Well, yeah. On the plus side, Edward does have the ability to, at least for a small amount, heal the whole party for free.
We can take cover with hide and become immune to damage for a bit. It's jump without the damage at the end.
Yep. You can keep Edward alive.
Which can be handy sometimes.
Yeah. There's uses for it.
And he's got Sing, which I believe changes effects based on whatever harp he has equipped, and right now it's confused.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he can basically keep the enemy party from attacking you in this case. Which is actually pretty good. The Sing buff seems pretty substantial.
Yeah, it was very much not a great move in other versions of this game.
Yeah, status effects have never been good in Final Fantasy. It's kind of convinced a lot of people that status effects aren't good in any game. Final Fantasy has always had a problem with making status effects usable as a useful tool as you, the player.
Harps
Enemies can use
as a
them
weapon.
just fine and
Still
don't
not great.
devastate you about it. Actually using them against enemies is super inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always partial to any Final Fantasy game that makes status effects worth a damn. Like 13.
Yeah, 13, a lot of people don't bother using the saboteurs in that game because they assume they're gonna be bad. But they're actually really, really good.
Saboteur is the most important class in the entire paradigm system.
Yeah, them and Synergists. You want to switch into phases where you just focus on buffing your party and debuffing the enemy. But we'll get there.
Saboteur has Imperil, and nothing has ever felt as good as Imperil. They need to put Imperil in 14 somehow. I don't care how it happens. Put Imperil in 14.
I feel like Summoners should have Imperil.
Yeah?
Maybe not Summoners, maybe some other class, because I'd want it to be a class I actually
There is
like
Toad. Song of Frog.
I really do not like playing as Summoners, even with their update. I just don't think they're fun.
That's fair. I never touched Summoner before the change, so I only know that. And I definitely like having a class that's very, very straightforward in what you do with it. But I understand it. I understand it not feeling great to people who really liked Summoner beforehand.
Yeah, I didn't like it either way. The original was very focused on maintaining dots. I don't like maintaining anything in that game. Don't give me any buffs, I won't use them. I will use them because you need to, but I don't like it.
And there we get a different song that time. Yeah, I think it is like recalling that it's a sort of a pool.
And current Summoner kind of misses the role fantasy to me of casters, which is I want to actually feel like I'm casting spells, which means I would like to have to stand still sometimes, actually.
Yeah. It definitely, I think, feels like by the time you reach 90, I think Summoner does a lot better at fulfilling the role fantasy, but yeah, I get you. I think the new moves they learn at 90 feel like some interesting Summoner stuff going on there. But yeah, definitely when you compare to like Black Mage in 14, which is the ultimate in satisfying the role fantasy.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong button.
You're not moving from that spot, the class.
Yeah.
I genuinely like having to deal with cast times, and like even Red Mage I feel like has to deal with cast times more than.
Yeah, Red Mage definitely is Red Mage is playing with cast times as a concept a lot more, yeah. Like Red Mage is specifically the class in which you are manipulating how little cast time you do, and that is very interesting.
God, I just really like these save points, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, no, these are great. Like, just aesthetically and such are really fun to look at.
Like, it genuinely, so few games do this. It feels like an effort to make the save points fit in the setting as an actual thing that exists.
Yeah, like it feels like this is a
gameplay mechanic.
This is
And
a
I think
place
it's
that
fun
has
when
some
they
kind of
do that.
ward on it, like magically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it feels like other people have been here in the past and set up something so that they can rest and continue exploring this place. And that's interesting.
Worms.
Another
Worms,
game that does that very well, in a very funny way, especially because the game it's a sequel to definitely did not have anything like this at all. The save points in Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
The explanation for them, like the rest of that game, is absolutely buck wild, but it's there and it's a fun idea. And I don't know. I like it when games do that. They obviously don't have to, but it's neat.
I definitely feel
I
you
just
on that.
think it's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Still not able to hit with the harp. Beep, bop. Is there anything over here? No?
Weird. Really feels like there should be something up there, right?
Yeah, maybe
It
later.
does have something up there, Thierry and Mara.
Huh,
It has your wasted time.
it's true. Oh my god, the antlion is in the place where it lays its eggs.
Wow. Who could have seen this coming? Anyway, welcome to the Antline.
Yep.
See, antlions are actually quite tame.
I will be honest. Beyond Mist Dragon, I do not remember the most of the boss gimmicks. So it's gonna be very fun to see which
so
things
messed up.
I walk right into. Yeah, the antlion design is distressing, to say the
The
least.
antlion design is like a mascot for a 90s alt comics imprint.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's you want to chocobo kick this thing while having Edward hide and Cecil defending, because you can trick its counters and attacks to just going straight on to Cecil. Yeah, chocobo kick is going to be a big damage dealer.
You stay out there. It's fine.
That's another fun thing about Hyde. You can decide to not come back for
Yeah.
a bit. I'm just gonna stay over here. Y'all have fun.
How you feel when you forget to eat lunch? Same.
Also, if you use a physical attack on the antline, it will counter. Cecil will be fine. Edward probably won't. And that's basically the difference.
Yeah. Edward cannot take a punch. Edward has less than 100 HP without being many levels lower than Rydia.
Yeah. So if you
Cecil-
do this strategy, then you're done so fast.
Yeah. But yeah, that is another gameplay thing of Edward is a prince. He has never really done much physically in his life, so he's not much of a fighter.
Oh yeah, Sand Ruby.
Yeah, further evidence of creatures are being weird in the world of Final Fantasy IV lately.
Don't forget to save before you enter Kaipo a second time.
Yeah, right.
Just in case things go poorly.
Yeah,
Lego City commercial narrator voice. Antlions are pissed off in the world of Final Fantasy IV. Deploy the fire truck.
Meow. Here we are back again in the hovercraft again. No encounters in the hovercraft. We just sort of go wherever we want within the bounds of its ability to travel, which is this continent.
Yeah, it's nice.
The hovercraft will not be relevant beyond this section of the game.
It's nice when they give you a way to avoid encounters for at least a little bit, though.
Hold on.
Gotta save first, just in case. What if there's a big fight?
We have found the Sand Ruby. Time to heal our wife. You just sort of shine the light from this excretion. Don't worry about how this works.
It's radiation treatment.
Desert fever is just a form of cancer.
Oh no.
It's okay. We have a cure. It just involves antlions. Golbez is manipulating the king to collect the crystals himself. Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Right, Troya. That's where the name Troya is from. I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm. Troy is not much to do with what they did in Final Fantasy XIV.
No, very little.
They just picked a name because there's a queen. So they can have a boss fight against a demon queen.
Yeah. No. Rosa is herself a magic user. She is aware of how magic works. It's weird that Rydia does not know fire. At least to Rosa, it is weird.
I think it's perfectly normal to not want to know fire.
Fire is scary, and Thomas Edison was a witch. These are known things.
No, you're misreading. He was a bitch.
That's true also. Those are not mutually exclusive, to be fair.
True.
But yeah.
True.
Nighttime. Edward is being pensive.
Edward is being Edward, and therefore he's being depressed and moody. If Edward was in a more modern setting, he'd be in charge of a band like The Cure or MCR or something.
You started playing FF7 again, and it's my fault. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Edward gets attacked by a fish.
Edward gets attacked by a fish.
Which version of FF7, and do you have any mods? Because I would recommend looking up a translation patch at least.
You must fight, Edward.
The one I played with last time was something called Vehicles. Because it's a Steam version of FF7, I'd recommend looking up because it's because, but there's a U in there pointlessly, because that's a line that a character has as a point in the game, and they're making fun of it. FF7 is a good game with a really whack-ass translation.
It's like the only one from that time period, too, like to have such a
Yeah.
rough translation. It's really weird.
Yeah, like 8 has some issues too, but like not to the same level, not even close.
But he does say "Let's mosey," so who can say?
Yeah, it's true. He does say "Let's mosey."
He does say "Let's mosey."
Unfortunately, there is also the part where Barrett says a slur, which also sucks. But you know,
Yeah.
If we go, if they don't put "Let's mosey" in Final Fantasy VII Remake, we should go and burn down Square Enix headquarters with hammers.
Yeah. But will we take the elevator or the stairs? This is the question.
The problem is once we get up to the roof, we'll have to fight the guy with the crossbow and the laser sword. And if we lose, then we get the normal ending instead of the good ending.
Yeah, no, it's definitely... It's from a time...
Yeah, again, I am super recommending you check out that
for sure.
alternate translation. Because it doesn't have that shit in it, as far as I remember. Really, really, really check that out. Because it just makes the game more readable. It's a lot better.
Anyway, our party now consists of 1 competent adult,
Yep.
2
Yeah.
a child, 3 the guy who sucks plus he got depression, and 4 the guy who sucks. I don't think he has depression.
Well, debatable, yeah.
I think both of the guys suck and have depression right now.
So here we see...
Just different levels of sucking and different levels of having depression.
So here we see how the rows work, finally, for sure, is that the rows are more or less, you have 2 in the back and 3 in the front, or 2 in the front and 3 in the back, is how it works. So we're going to swap this. We're going to swap these we're going to swap some of these characters around here, I think.
You could have Edward in the front and just have him hide at all times.
That is what I meant to do. What was meaning to do is Edward goes in the front and he's just going to hide most of the time. Spoiler alert: Edward's not going to be in the party much longer. But
But yeah, you have 2 in the front or 3 in the back, or the other way around, just like a game series Entry Odyssey. Have I told you that I've been playing a lot of Entry Odyssey?
You sure have. And yeah, as you can see here, Rosa has bows as her weapon, which is why she's in the back row. Rosa is a white mage. She is very focused on one type of magic, but she does that magic very well.
And she also has Prey, which is free heal for everybody. And
Also,
a pretty solid one.
Here we have Sight, which lets us see a detailed map, which was a very useful ability probably in the original release of this game.
Less so
It
here.
was.
I just hit a button for that.
Yeah. It is much less useful now.
All right, I'm going to take a quick little break here,
Okay.
and we will reconvene in a minute.
Sounds good. See y'all in a bit.
Yep. Hello, we are back on stream now.
My God.
Yeah. Back to where we are. Well,
Oh, also, I'm going to go ahead and link that translation I was talking about. I think it's pretty solid. I also think there's one other one. But if you're playing FF7, using this translation mod is not a bad idea.
mm-hmm. I know you can do it, Rydia. Yeah. Rydia has trauma.
Mm-hmm. Time to be brave. Remember when you told me I had to be brave and fight, kid? You little asshole. I'm gonna kick sand in your eyes. Cast fire. Wimp.
Silly trivia point. If you do a lot of grinding, you can learn Fire Up
Yeah.
before this point.
Yeah, they only lock the first level of fire.
That's very funny. But also, you're probably not gonna bother leveling that much, because it would be a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's one of those kinds of things, you know, like some people will do, RPG sickos, they do that, but reasonable people, no. Fire! Oh no, they heal! They heal for fire. I'm a fool.
Maroni beat.
I didn't see that stream, but that sounds like, yeah, something that Newbie would do as a bit. Yeah. Oh, that's from, like, back in SA? Yeah, that would, yeah.
Amazing.
Not getting paid for that?
I've attempted the get to level 99 on Destiny Islands thing in Kingdom Hearts 1. I think I've only ever gotten to, like, level 20, which is still a lot, but... ugh.
Why?
I felt like it. I just felt like beating the shit out of Blanca for 20 hours.
Listen, that's a very relatable feeling to a lot of people, I feel.
Terry, I know you can bake bread.
I couldn't bake bread at the time.
That's an amazing response, Millie. Thank you.
I don't know. Sometimes you just want to listen to podcasts and...
Despite my efforts, Edward died in that fight anyways. Rosa learned life. Thanks.
And yet the future retreats to change. Oh, amazing. But no, sometimes you just want to grind in a video game and listen to a podcast. That's also why I've gone back to Maple Story once or twice.
Yeah, mood.
Does the translation patch require Reunion? I don't think so, but it is packaged with Reunion by default. So it might be worth going for.
There's one of the other mechanics of Edward. Sometimes when he gets hit enough, he will just run away himself.
I don't know if it needs Reunion. I think that will make it easier to install, because it's packaged in there, though.
Yeah, Maple Story's fun. It's a fun time to just sort of idly play and grind in.
We haven't poked at that in a while.
I have not touched it really since that one time we all played it together.
Yeah, same. I touched it like 1 or 2 times after that, but I haven't gone
Yeah.
back. It's a hard thing to keep momentum with.
Yeah.
Maple Story.
Maple
Maple
Story.
Story.
With just for Union, I think you just have to run an EXE. I'm not sure though. It's been a while since I've done all this.
So, do these guys just absorb fire or any magic?
I don't remember.
Well, we're gonna find out. Okay, it's just fire.
Yay, just fire.
Like, it has genuinely been years since I've played this, so...
Yeah.
Oh, the file you requested does not exist. It might not be hosted anymore.
Oof.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, also...
Let me see if I can find it somewhere.
I know. I forget if what the mechanics of favored hands are. But I imagine if you were right-handed, you would hold the arrow in your right hand on a bow. That's the hand you pull back the string with. Here he is. One of Fabul's monks.
Apparently, this is where they're hosting it on an outside site now. It is here, it looks like. Yeah, the thing about Reunion is I'm pretty sure you can install the different pieces that you want, so you don't need to install the difficulty patch. You can choose, no, I don't want this one in the XA. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Anyway, welcome to Yang.
Yep.
Yang's gimmick is he's got a lot of good physical attacks. His ATB is real fast, but he can't do magic and he's real bad at it.
Yep. Yang is classic of monk. Mom bomb.
But he's got 3 abilities: focus, kick, and gird.
And like, if not, there is apparently a downloadable patch for the PSX version that is just because it's not any other part of the mod. So you can play it in a PSX emulator, I guess. I don't know. It's not for the best. Yeah, Yang rules. I love Yang's art. He's a beefy man.
Oop, not what I meant to pick.
So, focus skips his next turn and then he'll deal double damage. Pick is basically a splitting a physical attack across all enemies. And brace is defend plus.
Yep.
Also, hey, it's Mom Bomb. It's very cartoony.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh. This is a situation where you have Edward hide early and then come back to just like drop a Phoenix Down or a potion.
Yeah.
I'll say that I think Mom Bomb is the first actually difficult fight.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of a fight to start with.
Go away, Edward, please. amazing.
At least the regular bombs don't do as much damage against Cecil, so Cecil and Edward will get some experience from this fight.
You did it!
You did it, Edward.
It would have been really funny if Cecil had died and it was just Edward hiding off screen who technically won. Edward MVP for just leaving.
Hit the bricks.
But yeah, Yang is classic of Monk, which also means he's just kind of okay in a lot of situations.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. As a character, he's kind of fun, but
Mechanically, he's okay. He works for what his role is. It's fine.
Millie, I forget, is this where it happens, or is it a different bridge where it happens?
Much later.
Okay, just making sure I'm not about to get owned. I'm not in a position to handle getting owned. I figured it was probably on the other important mountain in a bit, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's much later.
Because I vaguely, yeah.
You have Palom and Porum at that point.
Yep.
Does a tent revive people?
I believe it does.
That's a good question.
I think
Yeah,
it just counts
Greg,
as
the
the same as
famous
going.
battle on the big.
I guess
Nope.
not. I was wrong.
And I don't have a Phoenix down to revive Rosa, so...
Yep, you're gonna have to get to an end.
Boy, howdy.
Have fun.
Pleasant gargoyle.
Yeah.
Very pleasant gargoyle design, yeah.
Good shape. Friend shape.
Down.
Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Gatlinger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know why it's called Gatlinger, but it is.
It shoots its spines at you like a Gatling gun.
Master Yang, the king wishes to see you. Bed.
Or Jug. There was Jug shape on that. I think is the item shop. symbol.
Yeah.
Yep. Items are famous.
Everybody
in
get into the same bed. They don't perfect the technology of every character getting a bed until 5.
You have a pretty decent amount of money already.
Yeah, yeah. It's part of it is that we don't need to spend. We haven't needed to spend money on equipping anybody because there hasn't been anything to buy equipment-wise for anyone yet.
True.
But now we have the elemental
weird.
claws for Yang, and we have some upgraded armor for Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's eating into it a bit.
But also we
Alright,
do have
you
some.
can dual wield.
Yep. We do have some old Cecil stuff to get rid of.
It's so funny that because Dark Knight stuff needs to be in shops for you to actually upgrade Cecil, just everybody sells this kind of unique, very specific, vaguely evilish knight armor everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just maybe Dark Knighting was a fad a few years ago.
Yeah, the
Maybe.
other mods aren't strictly needed. I think I took one of the graphic ones when I installed this, just because FF7's one of the few games from that era where the graphics kind of bug me for some reason.
Oh, okay. I thought I could walk around a bit by saying no. Alas.
Oh, that's lame. I
Yeah.
didn't know they had that in there.
Yeah,
now.
sometimes the mods are just people who have weird chips on their shoulders about silly characters, and that's annoying.
I mean,
Ah, damn it.
recently I had my heel turn where I've decided that I actually hate Reed Twesty, and I think he's a terrible person.
No, you see, that's a reasonable response, but that's not why that mod exists, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's funny
That was
cartoon characters not cool for this edgy game. Get him
That
out
was,
of here.
that was a hell of a day on Discord where I convinced myself. Actually, wait, no, Reeve's terrible. He's an off person.
Reeve is very much in a position of, no, actually, you're kind of bad. You kind of suck, man.
Reeve's a poster. He's posting through it, and he really shouldn't be.
But yeah, now we have separated our party.
Reeve is very much kind of the asshole, kind of the bad. Oh, but he's very liberal. But like,
Anyway, it's time to fight more Baron soldiers. This
Yay!
time with like mint flavored swords.
something. Maybe they're glass swords from Elder Scrolls. Oh, we got a critical hit with the harp.
Nice. The focus, gird ability can be pretty useful here because you're not doing protracted fights.
Mm-hmm.
So just spending his turn, spending 2 turns of his to finish it faster. It's almost like you're using Brave.
Almost.
Parentheses. It's not at all like using Brave.
No, it's
Bravely
not.
Bravely Default's a way more complicated video game than Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, Bravely Default is building on a lot of tradition that hasn't even happened yet.
Yep.
And also, new ideas.
That's a... Leshy, you're looking a little more sexual than usual.
Yeah. Mod inscription to put this Leshy in.
God.
Still pulls her teeth out for the game, but
Okay, important inscription question. Do you think that's like a gourd cake, or just a pile of dirt, or a pile of poorly like half-baked dough?
Dirt.
The cake he offers you at the end.
I think it's just dirt.
Probably. This is like a cool, exciting battle scene. I'm just thinking about this in comparison to Final Fantasy II, and it's not fair, but this is so much better.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. We said this a lot during.
Mechanically, it's not actually very complicated, but the presentation does so much.
Yeah,
The presentation is everything in a game like this, and this is them kind of realizing it and pushing it to the next level.
Yeah, we brought it up a lot during too, and and we even said a couple times it's not fair because it is only the second game and it is the NES or Famicom and such. They are limited in what they can do, but man, it's just so wild comparing how much the story of 2 just does not work. The storytelling
Remember
of 2
how
just
that
does
one
not
guy
work.
gets run over by a boulder? That's the most cinematic the game probably gets.
Betrayal!
And it's just him getting coincidentally run over.
He was a gargoyle all along. I don't know how.
Dun.
I don't know how we couldn't tell. The monks don't wear shirts, but we just all assumed it was a skin condition and didn't feel comfortable asking.
He probably transformed or something.
Yeah, I know. It's just very funny. And there goes Edward.
But it's fine. I think that Edward, while hiding, should be able to use items.
Yeah, that would be nice. Four
At
as
least on himself. You know?
a big thing is just like 4 is a lot of them playing around with the core mechanics of Final Fantasy as an RPG, and you know, a lot of ideas are coming out, but they are not as refined as they might be in later games. Like, it kind of came up earlier, but a lot of what 4 is doing does come back in what they try in 6. Goodbye, Edward. But on a much different scale and much with a little bit more personal, like, say in what's in your party in 6 as the main sort of way. Classics of Final Fantasy Crystal Room. Kane, you're alive.
Shiny mirrored floors.
Dun dun dun. Kane, he's evil now.
He was willing to betray earlier.
Save your breath.
No, he specifically said that
Nice.
he wouldn't. He was just testing you, maybe. But
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when Cecil said he wouldn't, then Kane's like, yeah, we're not going to murder a kid. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
hold up a child as a shield, then he'll give up.
Kane is pretty strong right now against us. Have you any final words? Here he is.
Do 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 do
Here
do
comes
do.
a special boy.
So, honestly, the song, even if the design is not enough to convey this, the song should tell you that this is them saying, like, okay, we need to make our cinematic story. We need a really impressive villain to show up and really make an impression on people.
Yep.
Well,
Have you ever seen Darth Vader?
Yeah.
they do a lot of Darth Vaders in these games.
Yeah, but more than anything, Golbez is a very Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
And I shall take her with me to raise the stakes.
I think that will
Till
make
we meet
things
again.
fun.
like, it is definitely kind of old hat and kind of blasé to say that, you know, it's like Star Wars. You know, you say, because you can say that about a lot of stories, because Star Wars is a very basic hero's journey kind of story. But there's definitely a lot of Star Wars going on in 4 for, like, really hard for the first time in Final Fantasy.
See, I would argue that the plot of Final Fantasy IV is not taking cues from the plot of Star Wars.
No,
It is
no.
entirely just, for me, the Darth Vader Golbez connection. Golbez is so intended to be this Darth Vader-esque figure. He's not the boss. He is, you know, he's the evil sorcerer who is heading up the army, so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like that's what I more meant. That's kind of what I guess I meant, is that, like, in other ways also he is a Darth Vader, in which we will get to later in the game for sure. And there goes our white mage.
You got radio still.
Yep.
And you can put Edward in the back row again.
I just noticed Edward is just looking sad in his portrait here.
Yeah, he's always wistful. Wistful 24/7.
Hermes shoes. Secret button. There we go. There's the run button. The demon shield. Meow.
Dark Demon's Shield.
You need Dark Demon Shield.
Yep, yep.
Dreams don't die.
Dead demons, destruction. Something. Naming Way taking a nap over there.
Snoozing away.
He looks so comfy. Look at
It
him.
is really unsettling to me that Naming Way's fur is like the exact same skin tone color they're using.
Yeah. Young's wife. Them Baron Bozos ain't never coming back. I gave him a hell of a
Oh,
thumping with
yeah.
my non-stick frying pan.
They have Teflon in this universe. Mark that down.
Yep.
Important to know. They're gonna defeat the final boss with the wondrous powers of Teflon. Safe, healthful Teflon. You definitely won't ingest a lot of this over your lifetime. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, that just makes you healthier, right? Because you put the Teflon on your insides and the food slides right through. You don't have to worry about choking.
Exactly. You get it.
Instead of a dance, you get a kung fu display.
Yep. Set to victory fanfare.
Well,
It's all in the mind.
Punch.
Baron attacked with tremendous force. Hey, King. I want to take your turn.
yeah. There are definitely points in, well, any translation mod, but especially in that one where it's a little petty about very
Yeah.
silly things. I won't argue that. I do
It's-
still think it is overall better translation
Yeah.
because the base games one is just a mess.
It's one of those games you just gotta kind of put up with how people are about it sometimes if you want to
Yeah.
touch on like mods and such.
People are weird about 7 because it's the big one. It's the one everybody likes. So people have very strong opinions.
I guess I have to rest.
Gotta take a
7's
nap so you can have a story happen.
7 was a lot of people's first Final Fantasy, and there are some golden calves in it because of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. People absolutely give a shit if her name is Eris or Aerith. People are still mad about that. Right this second, somebody has heard you say that through the ether and has had a nosebleed because they're so mad.
Oh, you mean my favorite Final Fantasy 7 character, Alice?
I've not heard that one, but I'm not surprised.
Ah, Risu.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can make a
Suddenly-
terrible argument. You can make a
there
bad
are
argument
people
that
who
it's
get-
Alice.
Yeah, you
There are
could.
people who get absolutely fucking vicious about this stuff, Molly. You don't even
Yeah.
know.
It's like as Melly said, golden calves and all that. It was a lot of people's introduction to it, and it is very highly regarded. It's a very like it is in a lot of ways kind of a unique RPG, or at least for the time that they would have played it, if they even had played an RPG at that point. and thus they hold it in a special regard, whether it deserves that or not. It's very much.
And I'd say it deserves a lot of.
Oh yeah, no. Like I'm not saying like that to imply that like I think FF7 is like bad or anything. It's not actually or like overrated or anything. It's just it's elevated beyond a point that it should be in like a way like certain other media ends up being perceived as different from usual entries in its genre, even if it's not all that different.
Yeah, sure.
So, King of Fools, lying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
We're sending each other out. Like I said, Final Fantasy IV, I don't think is a super complicated or super, I get not complex. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's not a very layered story. It's really straightforward still.
Yeah.
I think that they didn't really get layered storytelling until like partway through their development time on 5, and even then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5 is very explicitly simple, but also definitely gets into a couple layers of, still they're playing around with layering the stories.
But we have character archetypes. We have them. We have growth and change through the story. That's all fresh for the series.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like what I kind of think. What I wanted to tie this into our other discussion is, I think it's really interesting the things people pull out of these games, because I feel like a lot of people get similar things out of Final Fantasy IV and the other ones because they are more straightforward and more, and then less complicated.
Oh, that sucks, Molly. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Molly. And because of that reduced complexity, it means that there's a little less room for people to take different things away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know how to do that. Wait.
And to me, that's really funny because my experience with... I could never finish Final Fantasy VII. I got through Midgar.
Whoa, that's an effect right there. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's pretty
Yeah.
pretty solid looking.
That's fun.
Pixel remaster.
Yeah.
But I only ever got like a little bit past Midgar on playing the PS3 port of Final Fantasy.
Oh boy.
Or 7. The PS3 port of Final Fantasy 7. And it is fascinating in a brave new world where 7 Remake's coming out, and I'm experiencing more Final Fantasy 7 and seeing more about it and everything. It's like all the things I like about 7 are not the things people talked about, are not the things that were part of its zeitgeist and its enduring conception online.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how that all shook out.
It's definitely a thing I have definitely experienced with various games that I came to a lot later myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of just what I take out of this thing that I think is really interesting is just like not what has taken hold like mainstream culturally. Also,
yeah, and you compare that to Final Fantasy IV, where it's sort of pop cultural reception is still like, people, the things people talk about are things a lot of people like. People like the Four Fiends. People like Cecil's change from a Dark Knight to a Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
People laugh about Spoony Bard and Edward. People, stuff like that.
Rydia, no.
Also, oh crap, the 10-year-old we were babysitting fell off the boat.
Yep. Yang went after her.
Fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They'll be okay.
Yeah, we are being attacked by this game's version of Leviathan.
Leviathan, 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 Leviathan.
And once again, Cecil is alone. You can see on the map we are much more south from where we started. Mysidia, which if you will remember, that's where we were coming from at the beginning of the game.
Oh, whoops.
I love this weird ass song.
And they remember us, because we sure did come here and commit some war crimes.
You put Kuika in this? God, I love this remaster.
Yeah, the remaster, the music is just really good. Like, this is definitely, like, the best job they've ever done with, like, re-releasing some of their old games. It's kind of wild.
But yeah, all the people in the city hate us because we kind of killed a bunch of innocent people and stole the crystal.
Yep.
I think...
Justifiably.
How can you tell? I'm a frog.
You're a dark frog barbarian.
I think you talk to... I think if you talk to the frog guy again, there's more... Yeah, there you go. You can fix yourself.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad I'm noticing there is some leitmotifs that come in later in some other music in here, which I really appreciate.
That's very strange, Molly. I don't know why they do that.
Changing the pathing, that's weird, yeah.
Probably just an arbitrary thing with the file changes.
Yeah. Yeah, there is someone who will cast pig on you. A test. You must prove yourself worthy.
It's only lead to the darkening of the soul. And also the eldening of your ring.
Oh no, you really don't want an old ring.
Would you prefer burning in your blood?
Fair enough. Wait, if nobody's returned from Mountain Ordeals, how do you know this works? How do you not know that?
I'm a mystical wizard, man! I'm a mystical wizard, elder. Shush. And here we get more children.
I love Alpino and Alice.
Yeah.
Nah.
I appreciate that all the major characters have like little colored names on their text box thing. That's a neat little touch.
The original Amano art for Palom and Porum is wild.
It's very funny.
I think I remember how they look. It's kind of yeah.
They're extremely cartoony.
Yep. Very unusually for Amano.
Yeah, they sort of just look like manic toddlers. Is how I'd put it. Which makes sense. They're children with fantastic magical powers.
Have you seen the original USA Final Fantasy art for them? Because it's bad.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
It's incredibly bad.
Sure, please do. Oh yeah, they suck.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Little turtle children.
Tweedledum.
But yeah, Palom and Porum are a black mage and a white mage, respectively, and as you can see, they also have some unique abilities, such as Porum can cry because she is young, and Palom can bluff because he is a very
He's a little shit.
He's a little shithead, yeah. And they both have twin
cast.
Twin cast because they are twins.
They are able to sync their spells perfectly and do powerful things.
So yeah, we've been tasked with the job of climbing Mount Ordeals to become a paladin.
I really forgot this came up this early in the game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not super
this
early.
It's been, like, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's been a couple bosses. It's definitely...
It's not, like, super early, but
3 hours.
It's 2 hours in RPG time, so, like... maybe a fifth of the way through. Depending on how fast the rest of this goes. This is before RPGs were consistently like 40 hours. So there's that to keep in mind with it.
Although, for what it's worth, 4 is a rather long game for its time. And yeah, twin cast. They cast a spell together. It's a pretty strong one there.
Is 6 like the first really, really long RPG in the series?
6 is definitely the longest by far when it happens, yeah. 6 is a very meaty game.
Yeah. I'd say 7 onward is about that meaty too. Maybe not as much every single time, but... God, I'm going to have to do so much mechanics explaining when we get to 8. I like 8. One of the things that game's terrible about is explaining itself.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that because we're technically...
The one time I tried to play 8, I definitely was all like, what?
8 is... The way I'd put it is 8 is in that classic style of game that asks you to figure out a lot with it, where they straight up included a strategy guide for the first area in the manual.
Yeah. Also, just remember, we have a better sword.
We do.
A better sword, which will be dog shit in a little bit.
It is technically the ultimate Dark Knight sword, if you think about it.
It sure is. Sword rat. And Bluff makes his magic stronger. And Cry flusters the enemy, whatever that means. These hedgehogs are so flustered right now. Can't you tell?
Oh no, I made a child cry. What do I do?
Well, yeah, Paolo and Porum are pretty competent mages. For
Yep.
They are very solid to have just the basic team
nice.
comp of Knight, White Mage, and Black Mage.
They're still working on this idea. It's like, oh, we want to be able to have a whole bunch of characters, right? And we want to be able to have them taken out and moved back in. It also means that we are now on our 3rd mage of each type.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have a lot of ideas of different class types to put together, so there's a lot of casters.
Yeah. Welcome to Mount Ordeals.
Yep. This is here because, technically speaking, we could have just left the town and tried to come over here on our own earlier.
Yep.
We would have been stopped.
Unfortunately, there is no 3rd mountain with a lightning barrier.
Yeah. It's very funny, though, too, because we start off the game seeing Cecil do some weird magic stuff in the scripted battle, those scripted battle scenes. We never get to do those.
I believe those are consumable items you get later.
Oh yeah, fair. Come
magic
forth,
item.
Scarmione.
Scarmiglione. And here's why an entire facet of the universe is Italian in Final Fantasy XIV.
Zombies and undead are Earth aspected. This is just how it is.
Well, they were down there in the dirt for so long, they gotta just put it in them.
True.
Oh yeah, The mountain where...
No.
I guess his base attack doesn't suck completely, at least. But, yeah, darkness is useless here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the part of the game where they throw most of the... God dang it. Okay, hold on. Where they throw a lot more of the... Cecil can't handle these guys kind of enemies.
Which, it makes sense if they're trying to get you to buy into the point that, yeah, he's not going to be able to do this as a Dark Knight. Just thinking of Cecil meeting the other Final Fantasy protagonists who have class change stuff and getting real pissed at how easy it was for all of them.
Bart's is just doing it. Bart's is just doing it at will, like whenever. It's like...
Wait, you can just switch at any time and you don't lose all your levels? What the fuck?
Sees the Onion Kid go from Dark Knight to like Ninja or something. It's like, what the heck?
I had to climb a whole damn mountain full of skeletons.
So many skeletons.
Also, they are really targeting these two, despite them being in the back row. Damn. Come on now.
It almost feels like they expect you to grind a little bit to
They
get
were
these
out of
two
sync.
up for
Oops.
a little more survivability.
Yeah. Twin cast is an ATB mechanic, I think, is kind of the thing.
Don't forget, you got bomb fragments and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I just
that.
remembered,
Cecil
and I just remembered and did
Cecil to
exactly that.
really cut through fights.
Honestly, it might be not be a bad idea to like get a pocket full of Phoenix Downs and come up here with those.
Yeah.
Just keep throwing them at these guys.
Oi.
Oy vey.
There we go.
Yeah, Mount Ordeals is, as the name implies, a bit of an ordeal. But hey, here we go. We got the really good mage back
He's back.
again. Yeah. Tella's here to learn about Meteor.
Excuse me.
Clunk. Palom and Porum are
These two.
children.
I do think Palom and Porum are probably my favorite characters in this, just because they have such a dynamic.
They're very fun. They're very fun little characters. Yeah, like that again, as we've mentioned a few times. That 4 is a very fun game just because it is such a departure from the previous game in terms of having so many characters, like just like capital C characters. Are they super complex characters? No, but they're very strong, just archetypes. He wears heavy armor, which most other RPGs say you can't do that.
He's just that good.
Just that good. Golbez,
Except in the after years where he does start walking around, dude.
Golbez is a very interesting character in Dissidia because he is so him and Exdeath both are very magic focused in that. Like Exdeath, doesn't even walk; he teleports everywhere, and that makes him a very technical character in that game.
Yeah, Golbez's other gimmick in Dissidia is that, unlike other spellcasters, his like attack animations count as attacks when he's casting.
Mm-hmm.
Because he uses a sword and like martial arts movement to cast his spells.
Yeah.
So he has a couple like get off me tools that other casters do not have.
Snake ladies. Good to see. Oh, they cast Doom, huh? There's that.
Twin cast is good though.
Yeah.
We got twin cast.
When you can actually get twin cast to go off, it's extremely good.
Yeah, you just got to make sure their
Here,
ATBs
you
are
want to
lined
have
up.
Anyone else in the party?
And here we have our first second level
Up
spell,
them.
Thundara.
It's a lot of level up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely a little behind in levels. I think they expect you to grind a little bit at the base of the mountain.
The battle theme in 4 is like the platonic ideal of the battle theme. It is not a very complex melody, but it has a good sort of rhythm to it and a good sense of just it keeps progressing, it keeps going.
Yeah, it's nice. Also, Molly, I certainly hope so. I don't remember there being any. If there are, I apologize. I didn't remember. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, the lot of going into the how that happened, came together. 7 is a really wild situation of localization.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do have the Mage Twins now. We are on Mount Ordeals.
I will also say, you'll probably be glad to hear this. I am going to say this is definitely better than Final Fantasy II. I'll give it that much.
Oh yeah, for sure. Low bar of games we've played so far on this stream, is in my opinion.
The magnanimity is amazing.
Look, I'm not willing to turn around my opinion entirely yet. But I probably will by the end of this, because this does seem like a pretty good game. My one complaint about it is, God, they're throwing you into a lot of imbalanced parties at the beginning here.
Yeah, the balance of 4, has its ups and downs, for sure.
Sure, give me your spicy take, Molly. So 4's better than FF6? I haven't played enough of 6 to say. I tend to like games that have a lot of ambition, though, even if they don't pull it off at all.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something you can't argue that FF6 doesn't have.
Yeah. I like FF. I like 4 more than 6. I think a big part of that is 6 overstays its welcome in a lot of places for me. Like, there's just times where I'm like, I'm sure I'm still doing this.
Yeah. And I mean,
I don't feel that way about 4 because 4 tends to just kind of it's a much shorter game.
Yeah.
I won't argue that 6 also has a lot of bugs in like every version of it that make it don't work.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is a common thing across Final Fantasies early on as well. But yeah.
Yeah, so many of them have glitches that just make them not work.
This is sir.
It's a sir.
It's a famous noise. So yeah, save here because this
Yep,
is
this is-
that bridge you were talking.
This is moment. This is moment of game. But yeah, I have not played enough of 6 really to have a feeling about it. So like I don't really have much to respond with, Molly. No, sorry, not telling you to stop. Just I don't have any responses.
We can have that conversation.
Yeah, we will get to 6 soon ish.
And figure out how we feel about it. Definitely some of the recruitment mechanics for getting some of.
I keep pushing right as if that's going to take me to run. I am aware you love Setzer, Molly. I am very aware you love Setzer.
Yeah, Setzer is like one of the most used characters in an RPG.
Oh, we got a glowy around the door over there.
The thing I like about Setzer is that one crunchy MP3 of women yelling Setzer in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty good. I like my favorite part of Setzer is that in Kingdom Hearts 2 he's clearly an adult participating in an athletic competition for children.
Don't do it.
To be very cool.
Yeah. I remember. That's okay. All right. Scarmione is not undead at this point. Cure actually cures him.
Golden. This feels like a skull revenant. The pun game on these is so much worse than like comparable other series. Pokemon looks at you and laughs.
This is like even at this point, DQ was running circles around this. Hey, come on. Let me take a turn, please.
Nope.
This is the first real boss fight. Like real. We're doing strategies. It's not just a tough enemy.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that, Molly. 5 is my personal favorite of the ones I played, but like
5 is the height of the job system for a while.
Yeah,
and that's a big deal because the job system is good. When done well, the job system is extremely good.
We're in a very funny situation right now where, technically speaking, Palom has a higher level spell that has higher level magic than Tella does.
Not weak to anything. It's got about. I'm checking online. He's got about 3,500 HP.
Yeah. Does he resist Cecil or?
No, he takes neutral damage from everything.
Okay, then I don't need to keep defending with Cecil.
That makes that cutscene introducing him a little misleading. But
Yeah, the twins have some pretty busted unique actions for sure.
Yep. The next step, you want Fire Holy.
Yeah.
Those two.
And Twin Cast is, of course, very good.
Twincast is in the versions of Final Fantasy IV where you can use, where they have the pseudo job system with the unique actions that you can copy over. Twincasting, you save that for the end game.
Yeah.
You save your 2 Twincast abilities, and at the very end, you put it on Rosa and someone else.
There you go.
What a chump.
Save.
I'm glad we'll never have to.
Save.
Too late. I forgot.
Foos.
And yeah, here is.
He's Notorious B.I.G. I get it.
But nope,
And here he is. And here's the music.
There he is, Skull Million.
Boom, 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 boom.
First off,
Yeah, he attacks you from the back. He's not a cat boy. They invented that later.
Yeah. So, am I still able to still attack him with that still now, or is he now resistant?
He takes less damage from Cecil, but it's not. It is 100% rather than like less percent. Bomb fragments. Putting Cecil on like a bomb fragment or two is not going to hurt though.
Yeah.
Just because now he is weak to holy and fire.
Curse.
Oh, because he's zombie.
You cannot. Yeah, you cannot multi-target with Asuna, alas.
Okay, no, it's just slow. That's good at least.
Yeah. You can use Cura on him now because he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He still doesn't have too much HP. He's got like 30,000. 3,000.
Oh, you cannot use Hermes shoes on other characters. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
No, you cannot Phoenix down Scarmerion.
Yeah. You can Phoenix down the boss that does this gimmick in 10. I know that much.
Yep.
Let's see now.
It's always fun when you get to do that.
Etymology. Scarmilione is a demon in the Inferno of Dante's Divine Comedy. He is one of the 12 Malebranche who guard Bolgia 5 of the 8th Circle of Hell, Malebolgia. Vulgar and quarrelsome, their duty is to force the corrupt politicians to stay under the surface of a boiling lake of pitch.
That sounds about right.
There's no reason why this specific name is being used.
Other than it sounds cool.
Yep.
And there he goes.
There you go.
See, you didn't need to save. It was fine.
Yeah.
You do want to save now though, because
Yeah, no, I know what's
Okay,
coming. I do
but
know
if
what's
you-
coming.
if you somehow mess this part up, it's a real pain in the butt.
Ow, ow, ow,
Oh,
ow, ow,
oh, ow, 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 ow.
It's so rapid.
Does tent cure status effects?
This is a good
I think
question.
touching that cure. I think touching the point might cure it.
When you went into the menu, it wasn't cured. So,
Okay.
no, I don't think so. But it does cure status effects, it seems. Ow, my blood.
Ow, my blood. Ow, ow, my blood, my blood. Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, another Snady.
Nope.
Love to see a Snady.
She slapped him and he's got a little skull around his head now. Dominic, you rat, you gave your brother the spicy blood. My son.
I think Little Skull is Doom, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Into the
It
mirror
hasn't come
dimension.
up yet in terms of actually causing something.
It inflicts curse, I believe.
Ah,
I think that's what that
okay.
little skull is.
Makes sense. What's
Curse
curse do
status.
again?
The curse status halves strength and defense attributes. It can be cured by using a cross or casting a Suna.
Ah, got it. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, Snake Lady is a very powerful form to have, along with Driders, yes.
All right,
Fight of Gimmick.
1-on-1.
Cecil has much more health now, and also some MP. Here's some familiar music. If you've been playing 14.
Yeah.
Much less bad than the fight that T did with Mara Jade.
I mean, kinda, but I also did the other thing with Mara Jade where I had to sheath my sword against Kyle, so Kyle would give up. And then she very nonchalantly was like, "Oh yeah, you fell to the dark side and was evil. Don't worry about it. Get in the shuttle. We're going home."
If you don't know the gimmick of this fight,
Yeah,
you will lose.
this fight,
fast.
is a little rude in that regard. Of like, if you don't grasp, oh, you're not supposed to fight.
You can potentially get through it if you heal, but
Yeah,
still, it can go real bad real quick because you've only got one character. I did forget how much health you get as a paladin, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But you are level 1 now.
yeah. My spells, I remember them now. Tella has learned Meteor, the ultimate magic. I cannot wait to go into a battle and cast Meteor to just instantly win.
I do itself.
I love Tella.
It's so good. Why did it call me son? Is my dad a wall? Oh no. My part mirror.
Well, yeah, now we have Cecil, who turns out
So,
to be
yeah.
a white-haired pretty boy all along.
Here's Gimmick of Tella now. He has all the magic. And the joke of Meteor is that it's 99 MP, and Tella has 90 right now.
Yep.
That is the joke of Meteor. You can't use it because he doesn't have the MP.
As Porom said, it's a spell that requires great vitality.
And yeah. Cecil's stats are higher than other characters would be at level 1, but still level 1.
I always just walk around a little bit and let a couple Revenant groups and Lilith fights happen to get them back up to scratch. Raja!
I was gonna say that might be overkill, but it didn't take out the guys in front. And hey, it's a lot of undead, so you can actually do some decent things with paladins with them.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine maybe in the DS version it rebalances it in a way that might feel more rough. And now we're at level 7 immediately.
Yeah, that helps.
A whole extra 100 health for us.
Yeah, Molly, I get where you're coming from with that. I also feel like one of the things that pushed me away from this game as a kid is I'd get invested in characters and then they'd leave the party and I'd feel bad about it just because I thought they were cool and I wanted them to stick around. And by the time it happened to the protagonist, I was like, well, what can I trust in this fallen world?
Yeah, I can imagine 4 with those systems extra added on can be if your first experience is through that and all that, like that could come off as frustrating. Of like, oh, I messed with the system and now the character is gone. Cool.
Yeah, they really should have just given you a refund on them, the way they gave a refund on equipment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 4 is not difficult enough that you ever are in real trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And you get everyone back at the end anyway, so there's that too. Not in this one. We won't get that in this version of 4. That's a 3D special. I also don't know if it's just because I am older, a little bit better at video games. When a game is too easy for me to break, I tend to stop getting quite as invested.
Mm-hmm.
In RPGs, I like friction now a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel that. I can understand that.
Like, the reason I still like Bravely Default games is because in Bravely, you really gotta puzzle things out for how you want to do wild stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of systems going on in Bravely to really mess with stuff around it.
Yeah, really any RPG that lets you do fun build puzzles can be a pretty good time.
Remember, I invented in Bravely Default 2, I invented a very silly set of 4 final abilities for my team.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is really funny because you used to combine the Hell Assassin with Painter. Because the Assassin has an ability that deals extra damage based on status effects. I get a multiplier based on how many status effects you currently are inflicted with, right? The Painter has a spell that just inflicts, it attempts to inflict every status effect.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. I think for me with RPGs, it's like I have sort of forced myself into being used to like being on the back foot, I guess, in that I have always been an impatient person. I have never wanted to grind, and I have very stubbornly refused to grind in many games. It's just like I'm gonna throw myself at something and die a bunch instead of grinding. Until eventually I luck into or figure out the path to win at like 5 levels below.
Entirely fair.
Yeah, no, like I can understand people enjoying grinding. Yeah, Disgaea is definitely a game for grinding sickos.
I just like grinding, but Bravely Default 2 had a really funny grinding thing with the gambling class. Also, yeah, we're pig now
We are pigged.
because we behaved like a pig. But there's a really funny grinding thing in Bravely Default 2 where you use the gambler job. And you
No,
have
ma'am,
the
I've become a
ability
pig.
The gambler job has a thing that you can use to multiply the amount of job points you get for certain actions.
This is normal. Wow, you look magnificent. Cool pig body, dude.
But so what you do is you turn yourself, you make everyone in your party have a gambling addiction, and then you find this single one. Like there's supposed to be like special mini boss fights in the field.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is weak to bows, which is the gambler's weapon. And so you just have all your people brave 4 times, shoot it 4 times with the arrows, and then you're done in 1 turn.
Good.
And you repeat this to get a chance at activating the gambler's ×8 job point thing to go off. It's very goofy.
It's very good.
But I prefer that to other types of grinding. Like, find a way to make it work for me.
Well, I'll be hornswoggled.
Well, I'll be hog-tied and called the dog.
Something like that.
Dog-tied.
I suppose so.
Something like that.
I do really love Cecil's paladin sprite.
It's very good. And again, it's another example of just like much more complex spriting going on than what we had on the FF1 and 2-3. The NES is what I'm trying to think of the words for.
I also really like the coloration of the sprite. Like that sort of pale yellow almost like implies a like almost a ceramic-y color to the armor.
I also like that in some ways, sort of the spriting is very reminiscent of the knight from FF1, the knight class.
I like that it has huge pauldrons.
That's also true.
The updated version of Paladin Cecil is kind of wild.
Yeah.
The Dissidia Cecil.
I guess Palm Rush is more in line with Monk idea of Monk, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, and that there is Cecil of Dissidia. Very Amano pauldrons.
Yeah,
It feels like it's pulling a lot from the Warrior of Light design now.
well, specifically, it is based on the official Amano art
Yeah.
for the Paladin form.
Whoa. An ancient Mysidian legend. One born of a dragon,
Prelude, I know this one.
bearing darkness and light, will rise to the heavens.
And fight.
Over the still land. The moon's light eternal brings a promise to earth with bounty and grace. Ah, my eyes. Enough chatter. We must go and defeat Golbez. Tella is bloodthirsty.
Focus.
Tella has a mission.
Oh, I love
It's
Prelude.
murder.
Yeah, no, Prelude's
Oh,
great.
Prelude
Prelude is just a really good theme of fantasy game. Yep.
I'm a sucker for any time they put Prelude in another song,
Yeah.
whether it's 14 or other stuff.
hmm
I'm an even bigger sucker for when they put Prelude in Nier songs.
Yeah, they sure did do that. That was pretty good. I care
God,
little
yeah,
for the
yeah,
world's
that's
troubles.
so
I only
hard.
wish to avenge Anna.
Do you need a second?
Going to kill Golbez, cause my daughter.
Last time we had, the last time we had an RPG character this bloodthirsty, it was a young man with a glowy sword killing robots. I think a lot about. There was a post I saw recently of like all three of the main Xenoblade protagonists. It was like, I fight to protect my friends. I fight not because I want to, but because I have to protect or whatever. And then
You vending machine!
Shulk,
I'll kill you dead!
yeah, Shulk is ready to go.
All of his family and friends died.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even when he finds out that Fiora is still alive, it's like, I'll still kill you.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the rest of his family and friends.
Yeah, I know. The Tower of Worship.
Fine, I'll watch your kids. They'll get in the way of my The violent rampage, but fine. These children aren't spec'd for murder, but whatever.
I mean, I don't know. They've been pretty good at it so far.
How long do you have hate in your heart?
Yes, sir.
Good.
The Devil's Road. Is this good? Should we be using this thing? It's making this kind of noise.
That's fine. Probably, maybe. Oh, this is the tutorial room. You could have
I never came here. Yeah.
Very funny that they just had a hotline to your kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's my question. I don't know enough about like the tropes at play. Is Tella like actively subverting any specific RPG thing that the old wise sage is this bloodthirsty revenge focused man?
I think a little bit, yeah. I do think a little bit, like, he is sort of like, I don't know, in a way, like, Gandalf is, one of the more prototypical, wizard guys, and he's still, like, ready to throw down,
At the same time, there's a certain thing of... it is strange for, like, an old wise man to be this monomaniacally focused on revenge and murder.
Yeah. They went into the inn, you say?
Dwarven bread. Oh.
Oh no!
You said it out loud. It's Cecil. Oh, the guy who's illegal here?
I'm gonna call the cops.
You fool, we are the cops! Oh no, these guards have the power of pig.
Oh, the simultaneous button press thing? Yeah. Well, they make it kind of a joke in the remake. And also, like, give you a way out of it if you keep messing up.
Final Fantasy is attempting to justify 3 discs worth of content with as many mini games and then one-off tricks as they can shove into it.
Damn, why can't Kick do that much damage when you're in our party?
Being run by the DM gives you buffs. I swear to God, old man, if you don't stop being brainwashed, I will murder you.
We fixed your amnesia by punching you a bunch.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Oh. Rydia got
Rattled
8.
the brain case. Oof. Well,
That's a dead child. Oh, well.
the tragedies of war.
Yep.
Sometimes you just get eaten by a big dragon, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Sometimes a child gets devoured by a dragon, whole and dies. Say lovey.
Palom wastes no time. It's bedtime. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sleep. Goodbye. We have to find Sid. That seems kind of silly to like a guy you should that you might. I guess they don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like they would know that Yang used to be with Cecil. I feel like you shouldn't give him a key. You know, even if he's
amnesia, and that's permanent, right?
Yeah,
You can't fix amnesia. We're good. We're Gucci.
But yeah, we now have a full party for the first time. Well, not the first time, but I don't think, or maybe I don't remember.
First time in a while.
Yeah.
Last time you had a full party was before the team split up during the Fabul assault.
Yeah. Wait.
All right, it's pretty late my time, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna instead of doing this, I'm gonna call it probably here tonight.
Okay.
I was just
That's
getting
fair.
I was just getting a bit tired myself.
Sounds good. All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we have become a paladin. We are about to go see what's going on in Baron. For real.
Time to kick the king in the teeth.
Nope, not what I wanted to pick there. I wanted to look to see if the gallery. Nope, don't want to look too far.
Some of this is the art that you have already.
Yeah, but here we have this is what Amano makes Cecil look like in both dark and light forms.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dark Knight Cecil is so much like this.
His waist is so tiny.
It is absolutely snatched. That man has been wearing girdles since he was a teen.
Thruple goals.
The lips on all of these characters are intense.
Luscious.
But yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Nope.
Go back to that picture.
Okay, hold on.
I wanted to point out there's a teeny tiny little airship in the bottom.
There sure is, yeah.
Yep.
Also, I think maybe a bit of another character on the left, maybe, possibly, but I don't know. Might just be sort of smoky.
Maybe.
But yeah, thanks for everyone for hanging out. Thank you all for joining me for the first session of Final Fantasy IV.
The Final Fan. What are we calling this?
I'm just.
been holding.
I don't have a catchy name for it at the moment. It's just
Final Fan Saturdays. I'm calling it.
Final Fantasy Day. I don't know.
Days on Saturday. I'm fine with either.
TGIFF.
Thank God it's Final Fantasy. Thank God we don't have to do any more after this. No. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. We will see y'all next week for more of this, and I will see generally everyone Monday or Tuesday, whenever I stream first this next week, with something. I'll figure that out tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.